Well, today I actually posed nude for an art class.
No way!
Yeah, they didn't ask me to do it. They were doing pottery, so. But... Other than that, no, I haven't been doing a lot. Bit in the garden still, but
No, you can't just leave it there.
what?
We need to know details.
It was a joke.
Oh, I actually thought seriously. I thought that the joke was that you wandered into the pottery class.
Oh, no.
Oh dear. We would have needed to know details then. I mean, the pottery class would have definitely stopped and had to do a 3D model of you. So that would have been interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Micky, why did you pose nude for an art class?
I didn't.
Oh.
It was a joke.
Oh, okay.
I was hoping it was true and that the joke of it was that he wandered into the pottery class. I was hoping that the actual bit was, yeah, I got roped in because my daughter said they needed somebody at the local art class, so I got myself 50 quid for the hour or something.
I'd have to pay them 50 quid each to take my clothes.
How do you actually become a nude model for an art class? Does anyone know?
Yes.
No idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
You just actually apply, but I can't remember. I can't remember where and how, but there are way. I think it may well be that you just apply to your local art college, and they do have.
You've got to fill out an application form.
I can't remember because I know it was something many years ago, a decade ago when I was looking. It was actually just before I started doing the TV and film stuff, and it was one of the things, like get yourself extra money by doing one of these. You could do one of these jobs, and I was looking, and it was the info was on there, and I can't remember, but you do apply, and you may well have to be DBS checked now, police checked, but you literally the requirements are is that you need to be able to just sit or stand in a pose for an hour. And when I said 50 quid, it is about 50 quid for the hour. So you do get paid quite well.
So, I don't know about standing. I could sit on
photo ID. I'd never get a job.
I could sit in a pose for an hour. I don't know about standing, but I could sit in a pose for an hour.
Well, that's what I mean. Have a look into it if you're interested. I'll see if I can find the info.
Am I interested in taking my clothes off for a bunch of college students? Let me just think about that for about a microsecond.
But you get a bit of cash, and it's not erotic. It's not like you've got to stand there and make sure that you literally got.
If there was some hot bird there, that would be erotic, all right.
But you know what I mean? It's not like he's got to perform. It's just you have to be able to sit in a position sit or stand in the position that you're asked to for X amount of time. And all the other requirement for a guy is that you can't have an erection. You can't get an erection. So if there's any, even if it's an involuntary one, they'll kick you out. So.
That's right. I'm 62. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. No, I just
66, and it may be.
Yeah, I just wondered. I just wondered how you went about being a naked model for an art class. It's the old jokes. Yeah. I guess
I genuinely did consider it back in the day. I considered it because I thought, you sit down and or stand or whatever. But I think it was just the case of it was. Do I really want to? It could be 20 people in the room. Do I want to do that? It might be cold on a cold day. Drafty college and that. And
well, if nothing else, they'll have somewhere to hang their coats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a fleeting consideration. I thought, the money sounds quite good, but do I really want to have to sit or stand in that same position without yawning, peeing, needing a drink of water, and then like 20 people of various ages staring at me? And I thought, nah.
What have you been up to, Micky?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, totally idle.
We've done nothing all day.
Well, a little potter about in the garden, but yeah.
Okay.
I've got to sort my drain out, actually. I went out there clearing round it, and you know the grill, the square bit, it's actually rotted away and fell in the hole. So
Okay.
I'm going to have to get some marigolds and get my arm down there, pull it out. I've got a new one. I went and got a new one, but yeah, I've just been pottering in the garden. So
You're just one. Your life is just non-stop excitement. It's a roller coaster of total excitement, isn't it,
roller
Micky?
coaster of boredom.
Roller coaster of total excitement, Micky.
Roller coaster of boredom.
Do you like being retired?
No.
Oh, right. How long have you been retired?
6 weeks.
I said 3 weeks, didn't I?
Yeah.
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 It drove me.
Mind you, I had my granddaughter yesterday, so that was fun. Always like having my granddaughter over.
Yeah. Did they live far away?
So yeah, she keeps me on my toes, like. So yeah.
How old is she?
She's 8.
Yeah. Does she live?
8 going on 20, aren't they? They're 8 going on 20 these days.
Yeah. Does she live local?
Yeah, about 3 miles up the road.
Okay, so you get to see her a lot then,
It
yeah?
used to be about half a mile, but they had to get out of their old house. The landlord wanted their old house back, which they'd been in for 8, 9 years, something like that.
Okay.
They just signed a new 6-month contract in November, and she told them she wanted them out by January.
Oh.
How does that work?
I don't know, but they've found somewhere now.
Yes. Yeah. It's out in the country, and my daughter's not happy. She likes the house, but not where it is.
Yeah.
It's a problem getting the kids into school and what have you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'd love to live out there myself.
Okay.
But
you not thought of exchanging?
No, because I'm on council.
Ah, okay. Do you want to explain that for the Yanks?
What, council house?
Yeah.
It's a local authority house. I rent from a local authority.
It's social housing.
It's called social housing. Yeah, it's slightly cheaper than if it was from a private landlord. So yeah.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Yeah.
I pay. Hang on. I pay $520 a month for mine, Micky. The average price for a 4-bedroomed house round here to rent is $1,500 a month.
Yeah, well, here, I mean, I pay just short of 5, and my daughter's paying about 6. So I mean, that ain't.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it's the area you live in, Steve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you get a 3-bedroom round house around here for £600-700 a month.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, you don't so much live there as mulched down.
Say what?
You don't so much live there as mulched down.
Well, that's it. I mean, we've been in this house for about 35 years. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, it's my house. You know.
Yeah.
They keep pestering me to move into a small house.
Same.
Okay.
Same.
Because I've got 3 bedrooms and there's only 2 of us at home now.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think what they realise. I know I can appreciate that there's people on waiting lists and whatever, but they can't. They want me to move in small, but they can't offer me a 2-bedroom place. So why are they saying I need to move? You know, it's starting to piss me off, to be honest. I mean, like I said, this is my home. I've been here 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want to change now? If they want to charge me bedroom tax, I'll pay the fucking tax, but I ain't moving. Excuse my language. I do apologise, but it winds me up. I think they're absolutely diabolical trying to get me out.
Absolutely diabolical, yeah. I've been here 25 years, and they're doing the same to me, Micky. And I've got 4 bedrooms.
Yeah.
I've got I'm 4-bedroom semi-detached front and back garden, and they keep saying to me that I need to go into, but they haven't got. I'd consider a bungalow, but they haven't got a bungalow with a garden. So they're going to offer me. I know what they're going to offer me. They're going to offer me a house more in towards London than I am, and I want to be more out. You know,
Out.
I'm quite happy where I am now. Right, Tracy, what were you going to say there?
Oh no, I just wanted to join in with that conversation because
Carry on.
They're harassing me because I've got a 2-bedroom flat, and London is, especially where I live, is just so tight on so short of social housing properties, and they make you feel ever so guilty. But I mean, I've only got a two-bed flat, and the thing is, I need the 2 bedrooms, but I can't prove it, like as in, oh, one of the rooms got loads of disabled equipment in or anything like that. I just, I've got grandchildren. I've got a husband who has sleep apnea, so we don't share the same bed, like when we go to sleep, because the machine can be noisy and bulky and things like that. And also, arthritis and things like this. But, personal things aside, I have been here for 30 odd years. I've been in this flat 30 odd years. Like Micky said, it's my home. It's mine. And they make me feel ever so guilty, as in, there's people who are overcrowded, and they're in a 1-bedroom flat with like 2 children and things like this, and I'm like, that's not my attitude. First, I think guilt, and then it becomes, that's not my bloody problem. It's not my fault the government sold off council housing and didn't rebuild to replace what they sold off. So it's not my fault, and it's not my problem. And when I move from here, I don't want to move to. It would probably be like a studio type flat. What? Really? It looks like I'm not going to get any kind of house or garden and that. And they would. So I'm in agreement with you guys. But what have I been doing? Yesterday had my sister and 3 of her kids visiting, and both my daughters. So I saw both my daughters as well. All 3 of my grandchildren, and the whole day was just a lot of noise. It was great, but it was also really, really muggy yesterday. So all those people in a flat, and then God, the photos, the photos of me look like I'm melting. I'm the only one with wet hair, and that's how hot I was. It was just awful, and I woke up today really knackered, like because of all the talking and like socializing and the noise and the heat, the mugginess on top of it. So I'm not. While I'm not complaining, I am complaining.
You're complaining. It sounds like you're complaining.
I'm not complaining. Lovely seeing my sister and everything, and all the family. But it would have been nice if the temperature was about 5 degrees lower and the humidity wasn't 80%. But it was a really good day. So yeah, my sister got to meet my youngest grandchild, which obviously is a great nephew, working it all out, and yeah, so that's what I was up to. What have you been up to, Steve?
Hang on, your sister's no, it's not your great thing. It's your sister's nephew.
No, great nephew.
Or first nephew, or nephew once removed.
No, it's great. It's great
nephew. Huh?
Yeah, because my daughter is her niece, so her child becomes a great, whatever it is, because she's great aunt to that child.
It's all complicated.
There's another old-fashioned way of saying it that way round, though, because she would be a grand aunt. They can call it great. It's either great aunt or grand aunt. Grand aunt is the old-fashioned way of saying it. And I think Ancestry might put that kind of relationship as well. But yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say what I've been up to today is I didn't really want to talk about it until I got back, but as soon as you asked me, I'll tell you. I went out today to the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch light railway, which is a light railway, which is approximately a third of the scale of a normal railway, and it runs alongside the military canal down there on the Kent coast. And it's a third scale railway which runs a steam service, and it's a nice little chuff through something like 17 miles of the Kent coast. I did a return trip from Hythe, which is the station terminus at one end, to Dungeness, which is at the other end, and did the return trip. They've got special wheelchair carriages, so it made it easy for me to get in there. Now, I know that Tracy got married at Dungeness. She got married at the lighthouse in Dungeness. So I took a photograph of the lighthouse specifically for Tracy because I smiled at that.
Thank you.
Because
Yeah.
my days of going up that lighthouse, Tracy, are long gone.
Oh, I didn't even manage to get to the top. I had the collywobbles about 2 flights up and went, yeah.
No, I've got absolutely no fear of heights at all. No fear of heights at all. Heights don't bother me.
Yeah, it wasn't the height. It was just the fact that it was quite steep, and the banister wasn't particularly high. And so, and then you've got like this big open space to the other side. And it was just the dynamics of it.
It
anyway,
never bothers me. It never bothers me. Speaking of which, right, people, I often wonder, right, how people, I get people, I'm really terrified of heights, but I don't mind flying to Spain. How does that work? How does that work? They're frightened of being 100 feet up, but they don't care if they're 33,000 feet up.
Well, see, this is the thing. That's what I mean by it's because it's not the height. Because I live.
No, it's not the height. It's the sudden stop at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, but no, I live very high up. In my block. And so I can look out and I can look down, but it was just the dynamics, the engineering of the lighthouse, the way that it was. It just became, as you went further and further up, it just became more and more. It'd be a bit like if I climbed climbed stairs on the outside of the block. The higher I go, the more it becomes a bit. So yeah. So anyway, carry on.
Like I say, I don't understand because I don't have a fear of anything like that. I've always been a bit of an adrenaline junkie. Anyway, we did the round trip. We went from we got on the 12:45 train at Hythe, and we went to Dungeness. 10 minutes later, the train came back from Dungeness, and we returned back to Hythe. Got back to Hythe at 3:10. So that's how long the actual thing took us. The reason I didn't get off at Dungeness is because I'm in a wheelchair. And Dungeness is a bit bleak, and there's absolutely fuck all to do at Dungeness. I've got to be honest, it is one of the bleakest parts of this country, right? The only thing at Dungeness is a bloody lighthouse and a nuclear power station, right? It is severely.
There's 2 lighthouses there, actually.
Hey?
There's 2 lighthouses.
Well, actually, there's 3.
I know. There's 3, and there's in total there's been 6.
Yeah, but there's actually 3 there. 2. One lighthouse which isn't a lighthouse, one lighthouse which is a lighthouse, and another one that somebody's just built on the side of their house.
Oh yes!
Yeah.
No, that's an office. That's not a real lighthouse. But I love the way that they've done that because so many times people buy a property in Dungeness to knock it down and then build this hideous modern structure that doesn't quite fit in. But all the architects say yes, it does. But that particular one, I've seen pictures of that, and I'm in Facebook groups for Dungeness, and it looks like it does. It is part of. It should be there. So yeah, no, I thought you were talking about the Coast Guard cottages because the white round structure that's next. If you look at your picture, I think it's on the left of the black lighthouse. Yeah. That is the base of not the black light, but the one before the black lighthouse. That's the base of that. Yeah. So
I was talking about the one on the side of the house. So I could see 3 lighthouses and a nuclear power station, which is like and when you've only got 10 minutes, right between the train arriving and the train departing, and it takes 5 minutes to get out of the carriage.
Yeah.
Right. There was nothing to do because
they actually do have. I know you're saying that there's nothing to do, but I mean, if you had got off and stuff like this, like I said, I said to you, Messenger. No, not Messenger. I met someone.
Said on Messenger,
the pilot in does really good fish and chips. So anybody out there who's listening or watching, the pilot in at Dungeness, really good fish and chips.
And the Britannia Inn in Dungeness does a good pint. There's 2 pubs in Dungeness. I mean, there's nothing else there. But a power station and 2 pubs, yeah.
But also they've got a boardwalk which is disabled friendly, and it stretches out across part of the shingle bank. So anybody who is in a wheelchair and goes to Dungeness, you can do that. And there's some Various kind of like sort of there's like an art shack and stuff like this, or an artist shack and things. So
let me just explain Dungeness Beach, right? When you go out on the boardwalk, right, to the left of you, you see stones and sea. To the right of you, you see stones and sea. Straight ahead, you see sea. Behind you, you see a nuclear power station. That's it.
I love it. And Dungeness, Dungeness Kent, this is not Dungeness, America or Canada. I can't remember exactly where. But Dungeness.
I'd never get a train there, would I, from Hythe?
No, I'm saying for the viewers.
All right, we've got more viewers, by the way. Come in and say something, viewers, even if it's what a load of rubbish. Carry on, Tracy.
You did warn them that we're three old people talking a load of rubbish.
I did. I said in the title.
The clue's in the title. Dungeness Kent is the only official desert of the UK.
Yeah, and it really is. It really is. It's bleak. It's bleak city. But I came back again, and I do enjoy the journey on the train, because the journey on the train takes you through Romney marshes, so you actually see the Kent countryside change from the beautiful Romney marshes to the bleakness of Dungeness, and then on the way back it changes. But I always laugh, right, when I go to places like Dungeness, I always laugh with all these Ramoners, right, that say, oh, we can't have any more immigrants, we're full. And I took a train drive through the Kent countryside today, and it was deserted, absolutely deserted. There's no way that we could be full when we've got that much space, and that's just a little tiny bit of Kent. We've got so much space down there.
I agree, but the problem is the infrastructure. I was listening to a phone in the other day on LBC, and
aren't we posh?
I listen to LBC.
You listen to LBC, do you? Oh.
Well, it's just a broadcasting, radio broadcasting thing. Anyway, no, I'm listening to this radio phone in, and one lady phoned in. I bet
you listen to Jeremy Vine, don't you?
No. He's Radio 4 or something.
Oh, fucking cycle boy twat.
I agree, Micky, he's a twat. I agree.
I can't stand the bloke.
I can't either.
There was this phone in, and I think it was something to do with the housing prices, like renting, like we were talking about a minute ago. And this lady said the problem is that you've got a lot of the people coming in over from, on the channel over from France, and they don't get distributed across the country sort of fairly. And what happens is that you get because she was from Thanet. This is why she was saying about this. She was from Thanet. She was trying to find her next place to move to, because obviously, whatever circumstances meant she needed a new place. And she was finding it incredibly difficult because she was being outpriced by the private landlords, who are obviously charging councils to take immigrants in the houses and things like this. But she was also saying that it's pushing the prices up, but it's things like you can't get doctor's appointments. I know that's difficult enough anyway, anywhere you live, but you can't get the doctor's appointments because they're all being overstretched. Because if you've suddenly got these, like loads more people living in or moving to a certain area, not being spread out amongst the areas, then it's going to put a strain on schools, doctors, and public transport and stuff like this. So yeah, I agree with Steve in the sense that we've got lots of space, but the government doesn't spread people out to utilise the space. It all is just stuffing.
Well, they should be more selective then. They should only allow immigrant doctors and bus drivers in.
Yeah, but not the government. They wouldn't employ them. They would to do those jobs. They'd stick them doing shelf filling or something. Anyway, carry on.
Oh, we need shelf fillers.
I know we need shelf fillers, but we don't want qualified doctors to come here and fill shelves when
why not?
They could. Well, because
why are they saying they'd be useless at it?
No, but I'm saying that we could.
No, at least they'd wash their hands.
True.
Right.
I'm saying that
you're very doctorist, aren't you?
Huh?
You're very doctorist.
I'm very doctorist.
You're very doctorist, yeah.
No, you know what I'm saying. If somebody is qualified to do a job and we have vacancies, then put them in that right job. But it doesn't work. The government doesn't work like that. The government goes, oh, I see. You've got
Gotcha. No, I understand that. So doctors should become art student models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the government says, oh, you've got a degree in English, the English language, and we've got all these vacancies for teachers. So what we're going to do is we're going to put you on the bins.
Yeah.
They do not place people in the jobs that are suitable. They just
you can imagine you can get your COVID jab and you've been emptied at the same time. Perfect solution. Perfect solution. But it always makes me laugh when people say that we've got no room in this country. We've got plenty of room. I mean, it was very bleak down there. But that's one of the things I actually like about it. It is very bleak and it's very nice. Its bleakness brings its own beauty, doesn't it?
I love it. It's just so stunning. I mean, like I said before, that I loved going to Scotland because it, you know, the hills, the mountains, and everything. It was just so, you know, there was scenery, and I don't generally like flat places. Like when I've gone through Essex on the train, for example, and it's just so flat. There's literally sort of nothing to look at.
You should go through Lowestoft on a train then. God, that's an experience.
That'd be impossible because the line ends at Lowestoft.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But
it says it all, doesn't it? Go to Lowestoft and die.
It says it all, really.
Go to Lowestoft and die.
But Dungeness.
A lot of people do, I'm afraid.
Yeah, God's waiting room.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They retire from down south, move up here because it's cheap, live off the profits they made on their houses, and then peg it.
Yeah. God. But Dungeness and Romney Marshes, that's flat, but there's just something about it. It's the atmosphere. I think it's the fact that Dungeness is literally goes into a point, and so you've got the sea on like sort of three
sides.
Yeah. And it's just the atmosphere is just amazing, and also it helps that it's a protected area. Dungeness Estate is protected, and also not just Dungeness Estate, but further back inwards you've got like all these sort of salt marshes and that, and RSPB and things like this. It's all kind of it's looked after, and a lot of it was sort of when I say man-made, it's the shingle's always been there, but although they do have to move the shingle around every now and then, but the shingle's always been there. But when you look on the maps, the aerial maps, there's masses of like craters in a line and things like this from the Second World War, and quarrying people, you know, where companies have sort of dug out big sort of gravel pits and things, and so some of it's like not man-made, but man-shaped, but it just all adds to the sort of, and then the nuclear power station being there, it just adds to the whole mystique.
Horror.
The what?
Horror.
Yeah. Well, it just adds to the whole mystique, the whole feeling, and I used to love going there when the power station was actually working, especially Dungeness A, because it used to make these weird noises, like you'd hear the steam escaping, and then there'd be boo, boo, but sort of like way off in the distance. But it stopped. You don't get that now. So.
Oh well, I went there for the train journey. It's funny because my grandfather used to take my father there, and then my father used to take me there, and now I didn't today, but I've taken my grandchildren there. So it's been in the family since it was built in 1922. So I think my family of 4 or 5 generations of my family have been travelling on this little line since 1922, and it's just something nice, relaxing about being pulled by a 1/3 size steam train through the Kent countryside. I think it's quite good. I think it's quite relaxing. I quite enjoyed it. The smell as well is quite nice. Have you ever been on the RH&D, Micky? Do you know what we're talking about?
No, I've never been on that one. No.
Oh, okay.
I think I've hardly ever been to Kent, to be honest.
Okay. I put a photograph up. I put a photograph up.
I did see it, yeah.
And said, where am I? And somebody said Kent. And I thought,
it was like a black and white dildo sticking in the sky there.
Yeah.
Not married in. Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
You got married in a dildo?
No.
Yeah.
If it's a black and white one, no, I didn't get married in that dildo. No. I got married in the small black one.
Yeah, so
right.
But it is white at the top, and the window frames are white. So.
yeah, so I like I say, it's a bit of nostalgia and it's a bit of a day out. It's a bit expensive actually because these heritage railways now are quite expensive. A return trip for two, even with the disabled concession, was 44 quid.
Whew.
Yeah, so you can imagine when you bring your family, it gets a bit expensive.
Yeah. Do you think it might be to do with, because I know that I think it might have been the Bluebell Railway was putting out shout outs on Facebook or Twitter or something like that, basically saying, look, there is a massive coal shortage because of the Ukraine crisis, and
I believe
you're going to lose your heritage railways if this carries on, because they won't be able to run them.
Well, the Bluebell Railway haven't been running any steam trains for the last couple of weeks anyway, and I was quite surprised that the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch were, because the ground is so dry.
Oh,
But the Bluebell have been
yes.
running diesel services for the last week or so, but the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch didn't. We went out on Northern Chief and came back on Samson, which are two engines that I remember. But like I say, it's something that's been in my family's thing for ages. I like that actually. Wherever I go, I like to go on these little railways, and I absolutely love going to Wales and all the valleys railways there. They're absolutely fantastic. And
I've been on the Tallaglyn Railway in Wales.
I have as well. Yeah, that's the one that ends at Three Bridges.
When I was a child, where's it go to Devil Falls or something?
Ends at Three.
I can't remember. I was only about 9 or 10.
It ends at Devil's Bridge, where they built
Devil's Bridge. That's
where they built three bridges on top of each other. Yeah, that goes from Portmaddock. Same station as the Festiniog, but it goes the other way. So yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah. So
We also got one up this way, Steve. It runs from Aylsham through to Wroxham. They run steam trains up there.
I've been on the North Norfolk Railway that starts at Sheringham. Is that the one?
Sheringham one, yeah.
Is that the one you mean?
This one goes. No, this one goes from Aylsham through to Wroxham.
Oh, okay. Okay.
At Christmas, they do like they have Father Christmas on the train.
Yeah.
You know, little elves dressed up and all that sort of stuff. And they go in the evening in the pajamas.
Oh.
You know, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mince pie and a drink and that sort of thing. Yeah, but I think it's quite nice that they do that sort of thing.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm wearing shorts and my bare legs are actually sticking to my leather seat.
Lovely.
And
when I move a towel.
When I move my legs,
what he means, Tracy's wearing lederhosen.
Yeah. When I move my legs, there's a wet patch on the seat. Wearing stockings, I don't have this problem.
But that's why I sit on a towel, because and it's not because I'm myself or anything. It's because if I don't, I stick to the seat, and it's just the most painful thing when you try to move, because you don't realise you're sticking to it until you try to move.
Oh no, it's the sliding about. This is a leather chair. I'm not stuck to it. I'm sliding about.
Lovely.
Lovely. I just thought I'd mention that. Right. Well, I was going to talk about that when I came back from dropping my partner off, but you sort of preempted me on that one. But that's what I've been up to.
What you were up to today. So I mean, if you've got anything else, you know, to tell us about it, you can always.
I'll wait till after I come back. Obviously, I took my 360-degree camera down there. That's this thing here. Takes 360-degree photographs. Also takes 360-degree videos, and they take a lot of processing. So I'll release those of the train journey in the next couple of days. And I nearly didn't have my camera because I am very intimate with that railway line, except I forgot one thing. What I did is I put my camera on a selfie stick and I stuck it out the window so it was about 6 feet above the train, because I knew where all the bridges were.
That helps.
Except for one.
Oh,
except one.
Yeah, and it actually knocked the camera flying, but I managed to keep hold of it, and it didn't damage the camera, so I'm quite surprised. I kept hold of it and it didn't damage the camera. And I will put that video up where I actually
I'll look forward to that one.
Yeah, or actually smack the bridge, because I thought I knew where they all were, so I could pull it in time. But I forgot about that bridge. It's been because of COVID and the pandemic and everything. I definitely haven't been there since 1999, so probably 1990, probably 2018 or 2017 was the last year I went there, and I seem to have forgotten the route, but yeah, so that was my day, and we were going to go out this Sunday to the because we try and go out every Sunday. We're going to go out this Sunday, but my partner actually reminded me that it's bank holiday weekend. It's bank holiday Monday, so it's a bank holiday weekend. So you know, it's a school holiday.
It's a day off.
School holiday, bank holiday weekend. It's going to be manic there at the railway. So
I thought you were live streaming from the pub this weekend.
There's a possibility. There's a possibility. I'm not sure what we're doing Sunday, but there is a possibility. If Mark pops into the stream, we will talk about it. But there's a possibility. There is a possibility. If I don't go out Sunday, I can do it. On the other hand, I'm thinking that maybe if Micky's around on Sunday, I might come up and visit Micky.
Oh, Micky!
I'm free, but you'll have to let me know.
Yeah. It all depends on senior management, and she's getting ready for work now. So I'll speak to her. I'll speak to her when she's actually had some sleep, and I'll talk to her about it, Micky. And see. So I don't know what I'm doing this weekend yet. I have a feeling that visiting you is going to be out because of the fact it's
Bank holiday.
Bank holiday.
It's a bank holiday weekend, so the A12 is going to be busy.
Yeah, it gets horrific up here at bank holiday. I don't know where they all come from. They just crawl out the woodwork and
yeah.
And from Ipswich to here, as you probably know, it's just all single carriageway. So you get stuck behind some twat doing 40, you're buggered. So. Oh, Tracy's done a runner.
Yeah, I know. Tracy's done a runner, so.
Oh dear.
That's all the time is.
I'm
getting ready for Sean's shift as well.
Yeah, so being a bank holiday weekend, it's a bit of a nightmare about going out anywhere. Yeah. So it might well be the pub. The trouble with the bank holiday weekend is generally the pub is from about 6 o'clock on a Sunday night. The pub is quite quiet unless it's bank holiday weekend. Because people don't have to go into work on the Monday, so these are all the things that I've got to worry about. If that makes sense.
Boy, can't stop yawning tonight. What's about?
Yeah, so there's a possibility that I might. The last time I was up in Great Yarmouth was probably 5-6 years ago, and I was impressed with how the A12 had been built through as dual carriageway. Have they done any more work on that, or are you still some of the?
No. From
once you get past Ipswich, it becomes a bit of a drag, doesn't it?
Yeah, single carriageway. Well, you get through to Woodbury, it's single carriageway, and like I say, you get stuck behind somebody doing 40, you're buggered because you can't get past.
And they haven't done anything like Saxmundham. That's another place that was always.
There's still 60 through there, but then obviously through the village 30. You come out the other side, they've added another 2 miles of 40-mile-an-hour limit. So
there was also a level crossing you had to get held up at.
At Saxmundham there is. Yeah.
Is it Saxmundham still? Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, sorry, that's not Saxmundham. That's.
I know it's around that way.
Yoxford.
Yeah.
A place called Yoxford. Yeah, they're still there.
I remember coming back. I remember coming back on the A12 one night. It was about 11 o'clock at night with my first wife. I'm driving along and I cut thump, and then another thump, and thump, and thump. And she said to me, "You need to go careful because you're hitting the curb a lot." I said, "No, I'm not hitting the curb." She said, "Well, what's those thumps then?" And I said, "Rabbits." She puked up.
Yeah.
She puked up instantly, and then looked at me and said, "Can't you avoid them?" And I said, "No."
Yeah. That was particularly bad when Micky was thing. They used to sit on the bloody edge of the road. I'm sure they used to launch themselves in front of your car.
They do. They just launch yourself and then stop and look at you.
Here, I bought a brand new Seat Ibiza.
Yeah.
And I went to pick my son up from work one evening and hit a munkjack.
Oh yeah. Oh.
2 weeks. 2 weeks old. The bloody car was.
I bet it did some damage.
Well, it didn't. It wasn't that bad. It took out the fog light.
Yeah.
And smashed the corner of the front bumper.
Mm.
Well, consider it I had it on PCP.
Yeah. You put your
so,
car on drugs.
What?
You put your car on drugs.
Yes.
PCP's a drug. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Bubble payments. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you got at the end of the day, at the end of the time, you either return it or you pay the bubble payment. And if you return it, it's got to be in
another car.
Perfect condition. Yeah.
I actually told them to shove out their arse and went and bought something somewhere else, right? Yeah. But before I did that, I had to replace the fog light, which I got one off eBay, believe it or not, for 70 quid.
Okay.
They wanted to double that. And I got one of the garage to do a quick plastic repair and respray on the broken bumper. It looked, and the funny thing is, I took it back, and the woman who inspected it said, that's probably one of the cleanest ones we've had brought back. And I thought, yeah, you hadn't looked underneath it, missus. Yeah.
Yeah, we come back from on Sunday. We went down to where did we go on Sunday? Bugger me. Oh, we ended up in Battle, down at Battle Abbey, where the Battle of Hastings was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Quite accidentally, we ended up there, and on the way back on the M20, on the way back, or the A20 on the way back, we kept seeing muntjacks at the side of the road. It's always a tragedy because I actually think they're quite nice creatures. And there was there was a woman stopped in a Range Rover, and there was quite a fresh one right by her Range Rover, so she must have only just hit it. But I've been lucky; I've not hit one. And it's muntjacks and badgers. Them things, if you hit them at speed, either of them, they can actually cause some serious damage and actually cause you to turn a car over.
Yeah, I was only in a 30-mile-an-hour limit.
Yeah.
I slowed down because I saw, you see their eyes looking at you. They're like cat's eyes in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Well, two went across, and I thought, oh, here we go. So I started to accelerate, and all of a sudden, bang.
Yeah.
I stopped. The thing got up, shook itself, looked at me, and ran off. I thought, you bastard. Oh, my God. I got glass hanging on the floor, and you're just running off. Come back.
I don't think any of these rabbits shook themselves off and ran off. But she said to me, can you avoid them? I said, no, I can't even see them. You know, you can't avoid them. And she said, well, can you go on a different road? And I said, no, because whatever road we go on, until we reach the dual carriageway, we're going to have this problem. And she said, that's terrible. Can't you do something about it? And no, I can't do anything about it.
Apart from not driving.
Yeah, not driving is the only thing I can do. I'm going to stop my car in the middle of East Anglia with no streetlights about. And stop. That's what I said. That's the problem. There's no streetlights about, and rabbits are stupid. They just throw themselves under your car. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, Micky, don't you?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
You can't. There's nothing you can do. You just got to drive on.
And as a consequence of that, I mean, because I used to come out, obviously work nights, coming home at 6 o'clock in the morning. The birds on the road pecking at them.
Yeah.
There'd be pigeons and bloody blackbirds and that.
Right, Micky, can I have your cigarette quickly now?
Yes.
Because I'm leaving in 3 minutes.
Right.
He's stuck to his chair now as well. Yeah, when we were on our way from Berwick to Scotland, we did the A1, and there was a lot of weird and wonderful creatures that we don't get down here in London. Just and a lot very fresh, lots of very fresh kills. It's a nice drive. Apart from that,
I can't remember the last time I was up the A1. I think the last time I was up the A1 when I went up to York, to the National Railway Museum. That's when I think I was up there last. But I did it in daylight.
Yeah, the furthest I'd ever gone on the A1 before was to about. Oh, I can't remember, but like the turning before where you have to go off to Skegness, and that's another
high quality place. So you see, You listen to LBC and you go to Skegness. I mean, you're definitely posh, Tracy, aren't you?
I've only ever been to Skegness twice, and they were for biker weekends. No,
Twice.
yeah, biker weekends. Yeah,
I went there
anyway,
once. Once was enough.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was. If it'd been anywhere else, I'd have gone anywhere else. It was just the fact that they were in Skegness. But that's as far as I'd gone before. But then last year when we went up to Berwick and we did it via the A1, deliberately missing the M1 because it was also at the time of the fuel crisis. So there was like everywhere was running out of fuel. So the A1 being an A road, I know it's the A1M, but it's slightly more picturesque than sitting on a motorway. And this is, you know, when we do driving, going anywhere, like I said before, half of the fun of going on a day out or on holiday is the driving, is going somewhere, is doing the going bit. And so I navigated us up the A1M, and it was brilliant because the further away from London we got, the more accessible fuel was.
Right.
But we had to like
Tracy, I'm going to leave you with Match. I'm going to bring Micky back because I won't be able to bring him back when I've gone.
No,
so
obviously. I thought you stepped out of the room.
I'm going to leave you with Match while I go, and I'll see you in about 35 minutes. All right?
Yep. See you soon.
Bye.
See you soon.
Oh, it's still my camera off.
And don't forget to turn your mic off. Yeah, what's happening at the moment is that Steve is taking his other half to work, to her job. He'll be back in about half an hour, but until then, you've got me and Micky, who I can see floating around on his screen. So you've got me and Micky to chat with and ask us anything and stuff like that. So I was just saying about the A1. So I navigated us up the A1M, and it was during the fuel crisis. And what we did was that I was the spotter, and I was seeing if I could see petrol stations that weren't on the A1, not service stations on the A1, but if I could, you know, like when you get a view and you go, oh, down there, service station. So I navigated us around, and we didn't. Amazingly enough, we managed to get to Berwick. And then a few days later, we went to Scotland and obviously did all the driving around. And then we came back, but we didn't come back via the A1. We came back all the way back to London. We just kept doing little top-ups, little sort of 20 quid top-ups, splashes to get us through. And we were absolutely fine. Welcome back, Micky. But yeah, so we did the A1 the A1M, and then it was the A1 to we stopped over in Doncaster for a night because I got friends there, and then we went on the next day to Berwick upon Tweed, and then the drive from Berwick, you know, it goes sort of up and around that sort of shoulder of it. No, not England, because once you get past Berwick, you're in Scotland. So that sort of little shoulder of Scotland on you know, in the northeast, or it's in the Scotland, it's southeast, isn't it? And just the views are beautiful because you come over the crest of a hill and you'd see right across to like more of Scotland, sort of going further and further. It was just so beautiful. So just over the border, yeah. Berwick upon Tweed is the most northeasterly town in England. And then once you come away from Berwick and you get back on the A1, within about 5 minutes on the A1, you're in Scotland. So yeah. So I couldn't see myself then. I wondered where I'd gone. I could just see you, Micky. I think it's because Steve's switched himself off. So, what were you saying before that? Before I was rattling Micky.
I wasn't saying anything. I wasn't here.
Steve left and our numbers went up to 6, by the way.
That's about right. Bovines. Bovine is lurking. Speaking of whom, how did his trip down to
He's down
Cornwall
there now.
go?
I don't know if he's going to be seeing us because I've got ads. So he went down yesterday. He got down there absolutely fine. He's watching on his phone now because he's got like
gnat bloody flying about.
Oh God. Yeah, he's doing bits and pieces. It was his mum's birthday, and he's doing bits and pieces like around the house for his mum and dad and things. So yeah, I didn't think he'd hear us. He's got ads as well. We might as well sit back because it's ads unless you're subscribed. Hey. Yeah. Micky was just saying how your trip was down.
How was your trip down? Yeah, I just wondered how your trip down to Cornwall was. Hoping you got there safely. That was all.
I think I'll answer for you, Andrew, because I know that you're on your phone, and it's a pain typing. So.
Oh, I hate typing on my phone.
Same. It's annoying, but yeah, his trip was okay and uneventful, thankfully. So. That's good. Down there for a bit, and he'll be back. But he's tuning in. Oh, there you go. 4.5 hours it took him.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, that was going to stop as well.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Were you being naughty and doing higher than the van speed limit? We found out, and I think it was actually because of something that somebody posted in Steve's motoring group. Yeah. And I looked it up because I thought that doesn't sound right. The speed limits for vans on dual and triple carriageways and stuff like that is less than for cars. And yeah, I didn't know that, and so I looked it up to make sure. And I said because when Andy hires a vehicle, he usually hires a van. One, because it's a little bit cheaper, and yes, my speed varied. One, because it's a bit cheaper, but also two. It means that, you know, if we're going on holiday or something, we've got a bit more room in the back, and a lot of times the vans are more roomy as well. I do like to have enough room if I'm going, you know, I've got enough room for me to sit there. So, but it's cost. It's mainly cost. If you think about a car for a week, hire a car for a week, and well, mind you, the price has gone up. But let's say there was one point to hire a car for a week, you were looking at about £230, and to hire a van was like 130. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah. Which one are you going to buy? Diesel's slightly more expensive, but it's offset because you've paid a lot less for the van. So.
And you get more miles to the gallon. I've got a diesel car.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, and
oh, this bloody thing's pissing me off. It's going to bite me in a minute.
God, do you know that was one thing that happened? I bought some Midge Repellent when I went to Scotland. Yeah. Didn't see one midge while I was up there. So that was absolutely fine. Went to Sussex in May. Didn't take the Midge Repellent. I've been to Sussex loads of times. First day, got bit. So I went all the way to Scotland with this Midge Repellent, and honestly, I didn't even think because it's Sussex. I've been there loads of times. There's no midges in Sussex. Oh yes, there probably is if you've got staying in a caravan that's literally right by the well, it's not a river, it's not a brook. What is it? It's one of those
stream.
No, it's not a stream. I think that it's called a drain, but it's not a drain.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So it looks more romantic than it actually is. But yeah, I didn't even think because never happened before, and I got bit twice on my front. That's it. That's exactly it, Match. And because the caravans that we'd stayed in before weren't quite as close as that as by being by the drain.
Normally in the evenings and early mornings you'll get them majority of the time.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. And when we went to Scotland, we stayed by Loch Lomond, and that was one of the things that I thought that we probably still could be in midge season. Didn't see one. Didn't see any. Go to Scotland, go to Sussex in May, and get bit twice. Little itchy buggers. So at least I know now anyway. So I can be prepared. Because it's funny how they just like munching on some people. And I saw I had a little.
Do you know what?
Go on.
Do you know what I use for mozzies when I go abroad?
You're going to say an Avon cream, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going to say Avon Skin So Soft.
That's it. Yeah.
Lotion. Yeah. And it works.
That is the one that is recommended. Because what I got was it's called Smidge. Yeah. So it's a proper like mozzie repellent. But the reason I didn't get the Avon one was because this one was just ever so slightly cheaper and easier to get. But I did my research and it said Avon, is it Skin So Soft?
Skin So Soft, it's called. Yeah. Because we were in Spain in June. Donna forgot to put some on one evening. Well, when she gets bit, they come out in big blisters.
So she's like allergic.
So she's got blisters all over her legs, like, you know, quite unsightly, really. She wouldn't let me pop them.
It sounds
What's
like
the matter with the woman?
It sounds like she's got like an allergy to it because her immune system is obviously going mad with the saliva of the midge or gnats or whatever, the mozzies.
Yeah, she comes out in blisters. It's only the one night she'd forgotten to, and I got one bit on my toe. I got one bite on my toe because I wear flip flops when I'm abroad, and I must have missed that bit. Probably the only bit of skin was my toe.
They tried everywhere else. No, don't like that. Don't like that. Oh,
because they don't like lemon. They don't like lemon, you know.
Yeah, lemon and garlic, isn't it? And mind you, I'd rather smell of lemon than garlic. So, Matt.
Well, I mean, a lot of people say you can get odour-free garlic capsules. A lot of people say take them 2 or 3 weeks before you go abroad and continue taking them while you're abroad, and you shouldn't have a problem. I've never tried it because I don't.
Yeah.
Horse lies down in Cornwall with pain, says your other half. Yes, they're the size of horses as well. Some of them buggers, I tell you, they're huge. They are massive, and they hurt.
Oh, yeah. I got one trapped in a top once. I was at a job, and many years ago. I think I was about 15, and I used to just be kind of like I wasn't an au pair, but I was kind of like a help around the house for this woman with her kids. Basically walking around behind her and picking up after her and her kids. Anyway, there was one time and I felt this like weird sort of stinging in my arm. So I went like that and I felt something under my clothes. And as I pressed it, it's stinging me again. And by the time I got my top off and got the damn thing off me, it stung me or bitten me or whatever it was, 6, 7, 8 times, and it was a horsefly.
Matt says, would it just make your sweat smell garlicky? I don't know, because like I say, they're odour free.
Yes, it shouldn't make your sweat smell garlicky because if they've taken the odour, the enzyme that causes the odour out of it, then you shouldn't be tasting, burping, sweating garlic. But
you don't taste it obviously because it's odour free. But I mean, I've never tried them, so I can't really tell you. But a lot of people swear by it. Taking 2 or 3 weeks before you go abroad, Durham, and the mozzies will leave you alone. But I say I've not tried it myself. But I always use Avon Skin So Soft, and it works.
Yeah, that's I remember because when I was reading,
it's a bit oily, but you just let it dry into your skin. You know.
Yeah, I remember reading up about it, and you know, walkers and hikers, you know, like professional. When I say professional, you know what I mean, like die-hard ones have got all the equipment and everything. They all you know, campers, wild campers and that, they all swear by Avon Skin So Soft. So because there's the thing that's in it is a mosquito repellent. It's I don't know if it's citronella or whatever, but there's a thing in it that you know that works better than anything else. Has got this thing in it.
Yeah. Because I've tried Jungle Formula as well, but I find that Skin So Soft works better than Jungle Formula, to be fair. So, and Jungle Formula stinks.
Oh.
You have a shower ready to go out in the evening and smother yourself in Jungle Formula.
I tell you what was weird about Smidge was it reminds me of I don't know how to say this without sounding offensive. It reminds me of older ladies who have put perfume on in the morning, had a sweaty day at work, and then put perfume on in the evening without having a shower.
On the top,
And it's that it reminds me of that. It smells like she needs to change her underwear and have a shower, and don't put perfume over the top of it. That's what it reminds me of. So, but I mean, it's a pleasant enough smell, but it just reminds me of that. And I didn't know how to put that without it sounding like. Oh dear! I noticed Steve hasn't put my link up, bastard.
Oh, what, for your link tree?
It's all right. I tell you what, it's not exactly getting hits at the moment. It's not getting people going, Oh, let me go and see. I think it's easier when you've got like a clickable link because people have to click it.
Yeah.
Whereas when it's on the screen, people actually have to type it in, and in this day and age of instant gratification, it's okay. How do we do it? www. Oh God, I'm bored now. What was I doing this for?
For me, I have to keep flicking back to the page that it was written on and then flicking back on.
Exactly, that's the thing.
Because you can't even copy and paste it because it's an image on the screen there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Are you all settled down now, Andy? Without sounding boring, you know what I mean? Like your parents. Is the house quiet? Match says, I'm not sure how, but you can set up a bot to post a link every 10 minutes or so. Yeah, Steve's got that.
For his.
And you'll see it popping up in the chat, but he hasn't put mine in. I mean, it's fair enough, it's his stream, but, normally I have it on screen, and I don't really want to, it's a thing, I don't really want to confuse things, like having my link in there in case they click on my link and wonder where all the rest of the stuff is to do with the broadcasts and things. It's like, oh, but it was in the feed, why? So I shall just keep banging away on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, getting my clips. I love doing the clips. It's just so funny because it makes me laugh. I think we've got.
I haven't got you on. Well, I don't use TikTok, so I'd never see you on. Fucking thing is back.
Bang.
No, I don't use TikTok, so I'd never see you on there.
Yeah, no, I'm putting up pretty much similar things as to what Steve's putting up. Actually, no, I've probably got more. So I know you've got an account and you followed me on TikTok, and then that's.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't go on there really, but.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I'm quite enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. I like the layout of it on the PC, and like when you're posting your own videos and when you go to other people's and they've got their videos. I really like the layout. It's just appealing to. It's like it's clean. You can see what it is, so I'm quite enjoying doing that, but I don't like it when I get lost on TikTok, because where you go click and then you click through to something else and you click and then you find yourself like, what is this rubbish that I'm looking at? And lots of people do like 3-second videos, and my brain takes longer than 3 seconds to focus on something, let alone my eyes. It's like by the time it's have you got it?
No.
Bugger.
Stand still, you fucker.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that are just sort of like 3 seconds long or 5 seconds long. By the time I've worked out what I'm looking at, it's gone again. So I have to replay it, and it's gone again. And then I just give up with that, because I'm not into these quick things. And they're useless as well. It's not like they're telling me anything that I want to know.
Yeah.
It's just like. But what? so yeah, I'm quite liking it on there. And I haven't. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. The one that's had the most views for me at the moment it's at. I'm going to check it now actually, because it might have increased. Yes, it's at 98. So it's nearly 100 views. I've lost my window. There we go. Nearly 100 views. For the one where Steve does the stinkiest fart and then says it's disgusting. It's 20 seconds long, and the amount of people that are looking at it, watching it, I think it's had some likes as well. But again, it's because I like putting making sure that the first thing that they see is an interesting picture. It's not just Steve sitting there looking bored. It's Steve with a really disgusting face on it, like pulling the most amazing face. And so that's what draws people in. So, but it's just that I've found the level of my viewers. It's fart clips. Matt says what? Matt Tatch, is that to me or bovine?
Do you imagine that's to you talking about Steve's stinky farts?
I'll talk about Steve's stinky farts until he corrects me that he wasn't talking about that. Steve is on, Steve, the guy who sits right at the bottom. He's on chemo. I thought so. Yeah, no, he's on chemo. I think it's tablets, and basically, it gives him really disgusting blow-offs because what the chemo does is. It's killing off the cancer cells, and they've got to go somewhere, so he has to excrete them. But what happens is it makes him have really, really stinky farts. And when we were on stream one night, I was talking away about something really seriously, and all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, that's disgusting!" And I'm like, "What?" He said, I've just farted. That's disgusting." So I clipped it up and I've put it on my TikTok. And did you get it?
No.
Bugger. All right. Micky's trying to catch it.
I got it.
Yay! You got it before it got you.
Yeah.
So I do clips. I clip up these streams and put the funny bits on TikTok. And on my TikTok is this one where he's going, "Oh, that's disgusting," and it's had nearly 100 views. And it's some of them. We had a discussion one night about pineapple on pizza, and that has got 5 views. That clip, 5 views. It's a great clip. 5 views. The one about farts, 100 views. Thought you were going to have to bust out the chopsticks. Oh dear. So yeah. Steve loves talking about being able to use chopsticks, but he's not here, so. So I found the level of TikTok interest. If you talk about farts or do something about farts being disgusting and things, then you get views. So have you got anything you want to chat about, Micky, or rant about?
No, I'm not ranting tonight.
You've had a nice chill day.
Yeah, well, yeah. To be honest, Trace, I'm tired today. I don't know why. Too much fresh air, I think.
That's what it is. I thought Steve would be tired today, actually, because of him.
Yeah, after being out in.
Sea air and everything.
It's good that he's still getting out, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or he's starting to get out a bit more.
Yeah.
After his 2 years of being locked away.
Bloody hell, yeah. I mean, I did a lot of. I didn't do shielding as such, but I did because the advice. See, this is the thing. The advice for largely overweight. I say vastly overweight people because I am. I'm not. I'm not doing myself down. I am. I'm classed as. I'm classed as something.
Morbidly obese.
Super morbidly obese. Thank you.
Super morbidly.
Yes, I'm super morbidly obese. And
I didn't mean that as a slur, by the way.
That's the words that I was going for. I was thinking seriously overweight. No, that's not the word. No. That's what I mean. I hate the word obese. That's a gross, ugly word to me.
Yeah.
But I'm classed as super morbidly obese. Obviously, there are others who are like super or whatever, like the really large people. Anyway, so I'm classed as that, and that was a comorbidity, a factor of people when they had COVID and that. So I literally, when the COVID thing came about, and they were working out that there was people who had underlying conditions. So I'm not diabetic and I don't have high blood pressure and everything. But one of the things that they were working out was that the overweight people were more susceptible. So me being seriously overweight, I shat my pants and went, I don't want to catch this. So but the advice for the overweight was similar to people who had high blood pressure and diabetes and things like this. Obviously, so it was like, be careful, stay away from people. But there wasn't an official, you have to stay indoors away from people, shielding. There was none of this shielding bit. So we didn't get the extra type of help that shielders would. I'm not saying that I'm anywhere as bad as like a cancer person or anything like that, but I'm just saying that the government response and the government advice. But so I took it to the extreme. I was one of the early people to adopt wearing a mask. I started wearing a mask even like way before going out, way before lockdown, because I was thinking, and also I was wearing it in the streets, and I know that sounds overkill, but that was right at the beginning. They knew it was airborne. They didn't know how airborne. So I'm wearing it in the street and everything like this. So I was an early adopter of that. I did a lot of staying in, and I didn't get near my kids, and you know, we were helping each other, like leaving bags of shopping outside each other's doors and wiping everything down with anti-bac and everything like this. So I did, and I didn't catch COVID until this year, you know, like a 6 weeks or whatever it was ago. So I did what I could. Oh no, it's 2 months now. God, time flies. I did what I could, and a match says in America you'd only be chubby. Yeah. See, this is the thing. You know, like when you see things around about on the internet and things like this, I'm not even a BBW, because in America BBW starts at about £400 or something.
Oh, fuck, you know.
Yeah, and then you've got super sized BBW, which is SS BBW, which is about £600 or £500. Again, also it depends on the shape of you and things like this, and it's just so weird that I don't even fit in that category, and I'd only be a chub. But comparing it to here in Britain, it's like I'm considered to be bigger than a chubby, you know, and stuff like this. It's like, oh yeah, supersized and things like this. Anyway, it's all labels and everything, isn't it? I don't know how those people still have any remnants of ankle bones or knee bones or hip bones.
No.
Seriously, I'm really overweight. Like, you know, I'm honest about. I mean, you know, I'm not pretending. I know that I am. Go on, Micky.
I don't want to sound patronising or anything.
No, go on.
Round here, there's a lot of people who use mobility scooters purely for the fact that they're overweight. You know, and I don't know how to say it without sounding horrible, but if they could just get off that backside and do a bit of exercise, perhaps they wouldn't need to use these things. I mean, I know some of it is some.
Oh yeah, no, there will be people who are overweight for a medical.
I'm not talking about people your size, Trace. I'm talking about people who are bigger.
Oh, I've seen people my size and overweight but smaller, who literally they need a mobility scooter because they don't move around enough, and this is the problem. If you're overweight and you don't move around enough, everything seizes up. Yeah,
your ankles and your knees, and some may have arthritis. I do agree with you. Yeah, I'm not trying to be detrimental towards them, but I'm just saying that a lot of people around here are purely using them because they're overweight.
And also another issue is that being overweight is a medical thing, so they would be entitled to it too. So I mean, because I can see it from kind of like both sides and that. But that was one thing that because after I lost my dad in early 21, and that wasn't me filling up then. Bad timed cough that was.
Not long before we came on air tonight, I got an email from Amazon.
Yeah.
Refunded me the sum of £19.90.
Definitely from PayPal or Amazon. Sorry.
Definitely from Amazon.
Right.
I've been on because I won't reply to an email. I look on Amazon.
Yeah.
Now they refunded me for something I supposedly sent back for £19.99. Oh. I still have the item here. I've never returned it.
Oh.
But when you try and use their automated service to tell them, look, you got something wrong, it keeps telling me, I keep typing in the box, I have not sent this back, and it keeps telling me that my refund will be with me in between days.
Bizarre.
It's just Oh, you just subscribed.
I did, yes. I did it now because it's 20% off. I tried doing it the other day.
Yeah,
and,
so
yeah.
So they sent me 20 quid. I've still got the item. And there's no way that I can tell them that I've still got it. And I don't need this 20 quid back.
Oh, I honestly, I would not worry about it.
Well, I'm not anymore. I mean, I've tried to sort it. I tried to do the right thing and say, look, you know, but if they want to give me 20 quid, fine.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Well, £19.90 to be precise.
If it was an individual seller, like a small business, then I would be like, oh, you've made a mistake. But it's Amazon, for God's sake. You know, they. So what was I saying?
It's a wireless card for my PC.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I've still, as you can see, I've still got it here. I've never put in a claim for it. I've never done anything.
I wonder if it was just another buyer and whoever was actioning the refunds just pressed the wrong button.
Well, I ain't going to complain about it, Trace. Like I said, I've tried to do the right thing by telling them it's not me. But their automated thing won't have it. But it keeps telling me, no, I'm getting this money back. So, okay, send me it.
Yeah. So anyway, so after I lost my dad early last year, because I've always been overweight anyway, but after I lost my dad early last year, and it was to COVID, and we literally just went into, because you know we had that spike. He died literally in the spike in January of COVID cases, and then we went into another lockdown, and it was around about that time, and it was the combination of grief and just the lockdown, you know, like, fuck me, it's another lockdown. Like, I think it was our 4th or something, and I was just like, everything was dragging on. So it was just easier to be ordering takeaways and drinking wine and stuff like this. And I gained probably about 2 stone, I think it was. But I noticed it. Even though I've been overweight all my life and quite largely overweight, this extra 2 stone felt like somebody had poured liquid cement into my legs, because walking around just this flat, it felt like I was lugging around wet concrete. And I thought, this is shit, because I don't want to be disabled because of it. I have arthritis anyway, but I don't want to be disabled just for being overweight. So that's why I was tying it in with what you were saying about mobility scooters. I didn't want to be, I can do something. I can't do anything about my arthritis, but I can do something about the weight. So I started at Slimming World, and I managed to shift off a couple of that couple of stone. I've stalled at the moment, but I've managed to shift a bit off, and I can walk around more normally now. It's much easier to, you know, walk down the street and things like that. But honestly, you know, and you notice it in your lungs as well. It's just everything. It's just the so that was my fear, that I was going to be disabled because of being overweight, and I thought, no, I'm not going to be one of those people. So, like you were saying, because I know a couple of people who are overweight.
Steve's watching us, apparently.
He what?
Steve's watching us.
Thanks.
Watch your way, Steve. We'll show you how it's done.
Andrew says you're
It's
fired,
funny.
Steve.
It's funny how he went and our numbers went up.
Yeah. Oh God, no, we can't fire Steve. He's got all the equipment.
Yeah.
We love you, really, Steve. So I didn't want to be for being overweight. I really didn't. It's a different story if you're overweight because you're disabled, but being disabled because you're overweight, I just thought was a ridiculous thing that I could do something about. You know, stop the bloody takeaways and stop drinking so much wine. And the good thing about,
well, I can understand the takeaways, but the wine, you can't stop the wine.
A lot of wine. You know, it was like, my liver was complaining. So But it's empty calories. And then if you think about it, if you're drinking, let's say, a couple of bottles of wine and then having a takeaway and then going to sleep,
Yeah.
it's just, it's not good. But the other good thing about joining a weight loss group.
Oh, come on, Patch. How can you say wine is grim? It's excellent. Lovely stuff. I never get a hangover with wine, which I do with beer. So I tend to drink more wine these days. Because a hangover now takes me 2 or 3 days to get over instead of just the day. And Steve's in the queue at McDonald's.
It tastes like pickled feet.
You've not had a good one, obviously.
$2.99 a bottle is going to be pickled feet.
I must admit, I don't like Prosecco. I don't like any sort of fizzy wine.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he says he's got no audio. That's me, guys, not you. So that's why he's not going to work. He's not going to understand why Andrew just said you're fired, Steve. Joke was lost on him. Yeah, but the other good thing about weight loss groups like Slimming World and Weight Watchers and things, where you actually go and sit in a group and talk and everything, it's the best therapy. It really, really is. NHS, our health system that cannot deal with the amount of people who have got mental health issues.
Yeah.
And group therapy is a really good therapy. It's a really good, because it's talking therapy and it's group support, and it's the best therapy that I've found. I mean, you could be waiting 18 months for any kind of therapy, mental health therapy, with the NHS. Yes, it's free, but then it turns out to be crap. I mean, it's things like, I know people who they've got, they've got or they've had quite serious mental health problems, and they phoned up their mental health nurse to try to get help, and they say, and the advice is, oh, go and splash some cold water on your face or sniff a candle. And it's like, Jesus, not me, but this person might be in the middle of a massive psychotic episode where they want to do themselves, and sniffing a candle. Really?
Yeah.
So
I mean, my son, he's got mental health issues. He suffers with anxiety and depression. We spoke about it before, Trace, where he locked himself in his room for 6 months, didn't come out. So I do understand where that's coming from. Yeah. And people trying to lose weight, I can understand how they get depressed as well if they're not doing what they think they should be doing, losing the amount.
It's the other way around too. Being overweight is often a mental health problem.
Yes.
Exactly the same way, or a similar way, that anorexia is a mental health problem.
Yeah,
but there's loads of psychological counselling and therapies for anorexia, but for the overweight, there's a dietitian.
Yeah.
If it's a mental health problem, give them psychological therapies. Give us.
Yeah, because I mean, I have heard of, I don't know from first-hand experience, that some people get depressed so they eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
it's a vicious cycle.
Yes. So they eat, and then they're depressed because they're putting on weight. So they lose weight, and then they get depressed. It is like a circle, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. You eat because you're depressed. You get fat. You're depressed because you're fat, so you eat more.
Yeah.
You get more fat. When I say fat, I'm overweight. Everybody has different levels of thinking what is fat and things like this. Fat to someone might be a stone overweight. Yeah. Fat to other people may well be 20 stone overweight. But whatever is fat for the person who's experiencing the pain of being depressed and being overweight, and being depressed because they're overweight, and being overweight because they're depressed.
Yeah.
It's an awful thing. But that's one thing. Like I'm saying, that's what I mean, is that's one thing. The group therapies, the group chats with the slimming groups, not just Slimming World, but that helps to break that cycle, and you go every week, so it's something that to look forward to and to talk through any, because you're not just doing it in the group talk where you got the consultant having a chat. She stands up and does the chat, he or she But also, when other people are coming in and checking in and then being weighed and stuff like this, you get in the conversation there as well, and people make friends and go for dinner and things like this, and go for a drink together, and it becomes all part of the community and making friends, and
which is good.
Yeah. So, and
Because
again,
I mean,
yeah,
I can see that word. If you make friends, and then you've got that peer support, if you know what I mean.
yes, and
you can
Andrew
support
has
each other.
decided we need a drink.
Sorry, what?
Andrew just redeemed hydrate.
Oh, I've got a drink, have I? I've got an empty bloody cup.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, sorry, peer support, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, by developing friends, you give you peer support, so that can help you with your weight loss, help the other person with their weight loss.
Exactly.
But,
and anything that's going on in the head as well.
Yeah, and they can talk about that. But I mean, I've had family members who've been to these things, and they'll lose 3 or 4 pounds 1 week or whatever, and then next week they put on half a pound or a pound, and they're in crisis. But I think, well, hang on, over the 2 weeks, you've still lost more than you've gained.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they're getting devastated by the fact they've lost £4 and now they put on a pound. Well, next week you might have lost 6.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. You've broken the cycle of putting weight on, and you've broken the cycle of being this weight.
Yes. But I mean, so what I'm trying to say, basically, don't get disappointed if you put a little bit on 1 week.
Yeah.
It might be that you've been out for a family dinner, or it might be something, you know. But the next week you're not going to do that, and that'll.
Yeah. Nobody stays being exactly the same weight. Nobody stays. Let's say a 10-stone lady. No, she will not be 10 stone every single day. She'll be 10 stone 1. She'll be 9 stone 11. She'll be 10 stone 3. She'll be 10 stone. And that's what happens throughout.
But because people on the slimmer side don't weigh themselves every week, like people go to, they're not going to notice that.
Exactly.
You know, and people on the larger side that do go to this, they are going to notice that they'll go up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, as long as, I don't know, at the end of the month, you're more down than you are up, surely that's a good thing.
Yep, I always say that as long as the can't say it. I always say a word that I can't say. Trajectory. As long as that is downwards.
Yes.
Over time, then it doesn't matter if you're taking the scenic route. If you're like this, if your graph is like this, as long as it, when you draw a line, it's doing that.
Going that, yeah.
Then
exactly that. Yeah.
That's exactly it. So.
Match wants to know, do we know what the most successful hunter in the world is?
It's going to be something small, isn't it?
It is.
It's
going to be something like a vole or a shrew or something.
I was thinking.
Go on then, Match, fill us in.
I was thinking even like an ant or something.
In your wisdom.
I was thinking like an ant or something like that, because they don't kill things, do they? And they're not. Or black ants aren't meat eaters, so I think voles are herbivores.
Yes.
Well,
they hunt plants. They hunt triffids.
Give us a clue, Bovine says.
Yeah, give us a clue. Come on.
I wonder what Steve's buying. Domestic cats. Well, I was thinking domestic cats as well. Along the right lines, thinking small. Piranhas. Do they hunt, or do they just take advantage of whatever food is in front of them?
Well, don't stick your toe in the water when you're at the Amazon. Put it that way.
I remember. I can't remember if I read a book or saw a film, or I was quite young, and I read or watched a film or something about piranhas, and I've been fascinated, but also put off.
There was a film called Piranha.
Yeah, but that was recent, like recent-ish. I'm talking in the 70s, like late 70s, early 80s. I remember reading something, or maybe watching. It might have been a nature program or something, So
It's only blood they're attracted to, so if you stick your toe in, you're all right, unless you cut yourself.
it's just the fact they've got teeth.
Yeah.
Probably have a very high kill rate, but it's not that. Oh, that I was thinking of for domestic cats. I can't think. I can't think. Thinking small, but it's not cats. Humans. There we go. Next question. It probably is. Well, no, humans don't hunt so much now. They farm and yeah. A bovine will agree with you with that. Or unless you're just talking about humans suck at hunting, but bovine will just agree that humans suck, full stop.
Yes. So what's the answer then, Match? I mean, we're two thick old people. We ain't got a clue what you're talking about. So what's the answer, please?
Dragonfly. That's weird that bovine says dragonfly and Match says oh, he got it. My God, you wouldn't even think that a dragonfly would be.
Don't they only live a day, dragonflies? Or is that just a myth?
Oh, I don't know. I thought butterflies only lived a day, but I don't think they lived quite that short. I know it's still short, 3 days or something.
I don't know.
God, can you imagine spending like most of your life, like I don't know how long it is, but let's say 6 weeks being a caterpillar and then 2 months being a pupa and then 3 days being a butterfly.
Yeah. All that hard work for nothing.
Oh, fruit flies only living a day. Fruit flies. I was going to say, do fruit flies only live a day? But that's how they managed to work something out, and I can't remember what it was. They managed to work something out by the life cycle of a fruit fly, and I can't remember what it was now. I saw it on QI.
Well, that's a bit bloody upbeat, isn't it?
No, I love QI. It's
QI. Is that Sandy Toxvig?
It is now, yeah. I used to love it with Stephen Fry.
Stephen Fry, yeah.
And I thought when Sandy Toxvig took over, I thought it was going to go crap, but it's actually better. She's actually really quite sharp.
Yeah.
And very funny. So I enjoy QI. Oh, yeah, there we go. See, Match watches QI as well. I think that I like QI because it is hilarious, but also you get all these facts and things. So it's not better. You preferred Stephen Fry, did you? I prefer it with Sandy Toxvig. I think it was going a bit off the boil by the time Stephen Fry left, but at the time I didn't see it until Sandy Toxvig stepped in. I didn't when she stepped in. I suddenly realised that it had gone off the boil. The final sort of season or two of.
Perhaps he got stale and a bit fed up with it, and as people can do after a long time.
Really worked. It really worked for me with Sandy Toxvig stepping in. So.
I don't think I've ever watched the full programme of it, to be fair.
It is really good. But I mean, everybody's tastes different. Everybody tastes different. My brain.
Everybody's tastes are different.
Yeah, everybody tastes different. That's a completely separate subject. Everybody's tastes are different.
Sliding down again.
I know. I like the way that you're so laid back that you end up almost horizontal on the floor by the end of it.
Because I keep sliding off my seat.
But what sort? Do you like comedy panel shows and things like that?
I don't watch TV.
Oh, of course you don't.
I don't watch TV.
What about when you were allowed to watch TV?
Well, that would be Only Fools and Horses and
oh yes,
Steptoe and Son and
oh now that's going back.
Yeah, I know, but I used to love it. Hey, yeah. Alf Garnett.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't be able to do now, but I don't find a lot of the new stuff funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Perhaps it's just me getting older, but a lot of the new comedians I don't find funny.
No, I agree. I think
I think they try and make a joke out of insulting people.
Oh right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than actual humour, then I find that a lot of their humour is derogatory humour, which I don't find funny. So
yeah.
Or it might be just me. Might be just me
Well,
being an old fart. Like,
well, there are a lot of old school comedians that used to do that, but I think it all depends. I think it all depends on who it is and how it comes across and how clever they are at doing their craft. You know,
I've actually been watching a lot of Billy Connolly. Now he is a genius. Billy Connolly is a genius.
Yeah.
With some, because he comes close to that line, but he never crosses it. Do you know what I mean? He'll push it to that line, but he won't cross it.
Yeah.
Jethro, I used to like Jethro. I don't know, the old Cornish comedian.
God, I remember.
He was hilarious.
It like on TV in the 70s and things.
Yeah, and yeah, Bernard Manning. Now he was a fucking arse. He was, but yeah.
Oh God, the mother-in-law.
Yeah. But then again, see, I never I mean, people used to rave about Morecambe and Wise and bit. I never got them. I never got it. I never got Morecambe and Wise. Couldn't understand it. I'd rather be watching Monty Python, which is just silly. But I just never understood Morecambe and Wise. I didn't find them funny.
Yeah. I think the thing is about Morecambe and Wise was that they were on usually sort of Saturday nights, and that was when everyone was sat around their TV. That's why they were pulling.
You didn't have a choice but watch it because you only had 3 channels.
Exactly, and that's why they were pulling so many figures. And also, they used to always have a Christmas special.
It sounds like he's back with his burger.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We thought we could hear munching and rustling. Yeah.
Yeah, we thought you might be.
Match says, I've seen bits here and there of Bernard Manning if I'm thinking of the right guy. Yeah, it was, I can't remember, was he Northern? But he was a large bloke.
He was a big guy, yeah.
I never really liked any comedy duos besides Reeves and Mortimer. I never got Reeves and Mortimer.
See, now I love Reeves and Mortimer.
I didn't get it. I thought it was stupid and childish and schoolboyish.
Yeah, but that's where Matt Lucas made his name.
Yeah, no, he was, that was,
what?
No, can you remember you had The Smell of Reeves and Mortimer, which was Reeves and Mortimer, and then there was Shooting Stars.
Because he was George. Tell me the story. George Dawes. He had played a little drummer. He was a little kid in the nappy.
That was Shooting Stars. That was like a panel show.
Yes. But that was still Reeves and Mortimer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now that made more sense to me, but it was still a bit stupid. We're on an ad break, by the way. I'm not on an ad break, but Matt says.
Trace is actually subscribed, Steve.
Right. Yeah, Steve's not listening.
All right.
Of course, that's why I'm not getting an ad break.
That's why you're not getting an ad break.
And Andrew's got his cat shades on. That's cute.
It's chomping on look like a chicken burger then.
But no, I didn't with Reeves and Mortimer. When it was The Smell of Reeves and Mortimer, when they used to do all the like little sketches and stuff. Yeah. I never got it. I didn't get it at all. But it's only been in the last sort of 10 years or so when Jim Reeves, that's another bloke, Vic Reeves has become himself again, Jim Moyer.
Yeah.
And Bob Mortimer has been doing separate stuff like the fishing thing with Paul Whitehouse, and also going on Would I Lie to You, and being funny on that. I got that more. I understood that more. But the mad, surreal stuff that
Matt says the Stephen cutting sponsorship deals while he was away. Just had a McDonald's ad. And Steve's sitting there stuffing his face with one.
Oh. Brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic.
He's golden handshakes and
yeah. He's holding out on us, Trace. He's got this £1 million deal with McDonald's here. He's holding out on us.
We were down when we were on the train today. Sian got a message on WhatsApp from her boss asking if she could work today. So Sean said she would, and I said, right, well, let's get back quick so that you can have a couple of hours sleep. And she said, well, how am I going to sleep if I have to cook dinner when I get back? And I said, don't worry about dinner. I'll sort myself out later.
Ta-da!
There you go.
So I'm sorting myself out later. And yeah, I think the advertisement goes because I was talking about McDonald's. So I think the advertisement goes on that basis. Although if you subscribed, Mitch, you shouldn't have adverts.
No, I subscribed. Match hasn't subscribed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Matt says his stories on Would I Lie to You are beyond amazing. Yeah, that's what I mean. Bob Mortimer on Would I Lie to You is hilarious. Hilarious. And I've seen him on Alan Davis as yet untitled on Dave.
He's
Brilliant.
another guy I like, Alan Davis.
Yeah.
He's good as a comedian, but he's also good as a straight actor.
Yes.
I forget what that series that he had.
Jonathan Creek.
That's it,
Yeah.
yeah. I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But anyway, once Steve's finished filling his face, I'm going to disappear for a cigarette again.
He's good. He can.
You can disappear, Mickey. I can talk and eat at the same time.
Yeah, but we want to see the screen when we come back. Well, we don't want it splattered with chicken or whatever it is. Wait.
David.
I'll be back in a minute.
Quarter pounder with cheese, this.
Oh, don't. Lovely. Matt says,
I've got a Big Mac to go. I've got a Big Mac in the bag as well.
Oh no, seriously. When I go to McDonald's, which isn't that often, but when I go to McDonald's, I have a cheeseburger and a Big Mac. It's got to be done. Matt,
I have a Big Mac meal with a quarter pounder with cheese.
Yep, that's it. That sounds like what Andrew would get. Matt says David Mitchell's reaction to the story about Chris Greer putting the egg in the bath. Yeah, see, that's the other thing as well. David Mitchell is so dry and serious and bookish that when you find something funny, you know that it's funny. Oh, no, Andrew, please, no. We need to be able to see the screen.
No, Andrew, that's not happening. Thank you.
It's making me hungry. Hello?
Is it Billy Connolly? I out of all the people you've mentioned so far, I thought Billy Connolly was the most hilarious. But has he got Parkinson's or motor neuron disease
Yeah, he's
now?
got Parkinson's.
Yeah, that's a pity. What a talent!
Yeah.
I've seen Billy Connolly live a couple of times. He's just hilarious.
Yeah.
I can only aspire to be as funny as him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Billy Connolly is hilarious. So funny. But yeah. I can't remember where else. Yeah, so we got 5 watches at the moment.
Oh right, okay. You were talking about Vic Reeves and
Yes.
Bob Mortimer.
Yeah. Oh, well, Matt says, have you heard his bit about the salad buffets with the Beige Society? Are we talking Billy Connolly or Bob Mortimer now? Or even David Mitchell? So, David Mitchell, he's you'd know. I think you'd know him if you saw him. Billy Connolly. So, have you heard Billy Connolly's bit about salad buffets with the Beige Society? I haven't. Steve might have. No. What's that about then?
I might do if I get a hint. I mean, it's been years. I mean, I've not seen, because, like I say, Billy has got Parkinson. I've not seen him for years now.
Yeah, he's done some TV programs recently, but they haven't been like comedy programs. They've been sort of retrospective, look backs over his career or that type of thing. He lives in Florida, I think, now with his wife. He's pretty much based in America now, constantly. So
he did Billy Connolly's World Tour was the last time that I saw him on telly, which I thought was good. Which he did a world tour. I actually saw him in Australia.
Right. What you were in Australia?
I was in Australia when I saw Billy Connolly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Match says it's not really appropriate for the stream, but search YouTube later for it, or try and post the link in Discord or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were in Sydney, and the company that flew me out there said for the entertainment tonight, I will go and see, I will go and see Billy Connolly, and we did in the famous building that looks like sailboats.
Oh, Sydney Opera House.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Bovine says his Columbo appearance was good. Yeah, that episode of Columbo that Billy Connolly was in is one of my favourites.
I didn't know he was.
Yeah, he was in it. It's something. It's called something like Murder with Too Many Notes.
Okay.
It's that one. There was a couple of musical ones. There was that one or another one, and basically Billy Connolly plays a conductor, and he's got a protege who he kills because he doesn't want, because the protege is really, really good at his being up and coming and that, so he kills him, and obviously Columbo has to work it out who killed this guy. But it's really good because it has music and because he does he's a conductor for film score. That's it. So he goes into bits and pieces. I love it. It is one of my favourites. What I like about Billy Connolly is that he's never taken films, or they may have asked him, but he's never done a stupid American accent. Whatever he's done, film and TV, he's always Billy Connolly voice. There's no silly accent going on. It's just Billy Connolly's voice. And so in this Columbo episode, he is a Scottish conductor.
Hello, new viewer. Come on in.
Yeah, hi.
Come on in and
come
on in. Join the conversation. Yeah.
Join the conversation. Ask us a question. We're chatting in the chat box and that. We're currently talking about Billy Connolly, but we'll talk about anything except that.
Except that.
And so ask us questions, start a new topic of conversation. If there's something you want to chat about, we'll talk about it. Give us a cheer. Tell us to fuck off. Yeah. Just be part of it. Just be part of the stream. Matt says, I saw an interview with him and he said everything he's acted in, he tries to get his bum out. So I'm wondering if he did that in Columbo. Hang on. I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I'm trying to remember. I don't think he does in that one. But again,
are you back, Micky?
It's an American thing, and it would be daytime TV, so American, and it would have been, I can't remember the year, but mid 80s maybe, mid 80s American daytime TV with a bum. No, we us Brits would have been like, oh, it's Billy Connolly's bum. But yeah, I think I saw that where he said that, where he tries to get his bum out in everything that he does, and he did that when he did one of the pole ones when he was really, really cold. He stripped off naked and was running like literally across the snow or the ice, wearing just a bubble out or something.
These two, new watcher. These two are talking about Billy Connolly. I'm eating McDonald's live on stream. This is my contribution. Well, I do like to bring you massive entertainment, and eating McDonald's live on stream, I think, is the pinnacle of entertainment.
It is.
It's got, carry on, Tracy and Micky.
Well, you could have put a tag in there for mukbang.
Yeah.
Mukbang, for anybody who doesn't know, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. It could be mukbang and stuff like that. I think it was a Japanese phenomenon where people would literally tune in to somebody eating their dinner or eating their lunch, and it's sort of progressed now where people specifically do these shows for sometimes thousands, tens of thousands of people to tune into. So And some people do like extreme mukbang challenges, like eating like a huge pile of spicy bright red noodles and things like this. So, but
it's funny when I tell a girl I want to eat her lunch, it's not what I mean.
Matt says in that serious thing with Queen Victoria, Billy Connolly, ran into the sea nude. Yeah, but
Yes.
that was a film, and that may well have happened. He does like getting his bum out. Oh, it's just such a shame that he has got Parkinson's, so he can't do, or you know.
It is a shame.
Brilliant mind.
But kudos to him for the longevity of his marriage. I mean, Pamela Stevenson, she was in Not the 9 O'Clock News, which was the early 80s when they met, and they've been together ever since. That's like 40 years, 50 years.
He was married before her, and he's got a couple of kids from a first marriage, but yeah, he's been with her all that time. Like, obviously, you know, divorced from the first one and been with her ever since. And yes, it was matched with Rowan Atkinson and Mel Smith and Griff Rhys-Jones. That was about 1981, 82, something like that. That was sort of the start of the alternative comedy era. They were literally what do you call it? You know, they were like the grandfathers of, well, no, Monty Python was sort of grandfathers of alternative comedy, but then we carried on, nothing progressed from there. We carried on having, you know, Bernard Manning humour and stuff like that, and Morecambe and Wise, and the two Ronnies. But then all of a sudden, early 80s was the exact time when we had alternative comedy, and I loved alternative comedy, still do. Oh, really? Whereabouts does he live? That's Rowan Atkinson. I like Rowan Atkinson.
What's his name? The short ass from lives in the next road from me. The short ass. Oh God, a comedy duo from the 80s. They've faded now. Hale and Pace. That's it. Yeah, Hale. But you knew what I meant, didn't you?
When you said the comedy duo, I'd already mentioned the other big comedy duo, which was Smith and Jones, and it wasn't one of those. So it's Hale and Pace. So you're talking about Norman. About Norman, he was the short one. Oh, he does.
Yeah, he is.
Finish that now. You're making me fucking hungry.
Yeah, me.
Sorry. I didn't eat, Micky, and I sacrificed my dinner.
Hello, Uber. Could I please have a quarter pounder with cheese?
If you'd have said, Micky, I'd have got one and eaten it for you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I did order a Subway yesterday for delivery.
Did it arrive?
It did arrive, but it was late. So today they sent me a 20% off voucher for my next order.
Who was that through? Just Eat or
Just Eat again? Yeah.
What was that you ordered?
Huh?
What did you order?
Subway.
All right. I don't eat Subways. I'm boycotting Subways because of what they did a few years back.
What?
Yeah.
We drew ham sandwiches in areas where there were high immigrant populations, where they felt that having ham on sale would offend the immigrants.
Oh. Right, okay. Yeah, I think I saw something like that. And there was
so I refuse to eat Subway now.
And there was also the thing, something like the ham that they were selling wasn't actually ham or something. That may well have been a Daily Mail story.
That was the Daily Mail. The ham that was selling was probably something else. But no, they in certain areas of Birmingham they wouldn't sell ham because it would offend their It would offend people there, and so I thought, right, okay, well, if you're not going to sell ham, then you offend me. So
Yeah.
I haven't eaten a Subway since.
Yeah,
and I
but
won't.
we don't count. We don't count. We don't count.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go down that road.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's a can of worms that it's
Yeah.
just
It's not worth opening.
yeah, because you can have opinions and things, and the opinions some people will see as anti-woke and offensive and things like this, and it's just like there's a few.
Match is right. There are a few comedians that come from that end of the world, probably because it's so fucking miserable up there.
Yeah. I think I went to Middlesbrough once, or did I just drive through it in my lorry? I can't remember. No, I went to that place.
I'm sorry, maybe.
The monkey. Where's that?
Maybe it's me, right? But whenever I've been north, past Manchester, right, the weather is grey, and everybody is so fucking dour, right? It's like unbelievable. They're just so miserable. And the only thing I can think of is because they live up north. Seriously, have you ever been up north, Micky? I know Tracy has.
Mate. Only
I know.
I'm not really stayed up north. No.
I'm half north.
I rest my case. See, dour. I rest my case.
Yeah, no, you see, Matt says it's a cheery place, really. Yeah, there are some people who will just be miserable for the sake of being miserable, and but there's a lot of very cheerful Northerners. They really are. I think I always remember, there was a couple of my aunts, and great aunts. They were great aunts, and they were just so hilarious. They were just so funny, and they were old people, you know. And it was the northern accent always got me. I loved it. Oh, I do love a northern accent.
But take Newcastle, right? Take Newcastle from where Match is, right? Okay. They were so miserable up there that they decided to bridge the Tyne 20 times more than they needed to, just to cheer people up. Right? Seriously, they did. They've even got a swinging bridge up there now that raises in the air. And I mean, I've never seen a river with so many bridges across it didn't need. And they did it just to cheer people up. There you go.
There's only 7 bridges.
6 more than they needed. Honestly, they got this bridge right that is actually curved. They actually built a curved bridge. Like the road deck or the passenger deck is actually curved. But when the bridge goes up, it tips up like a giant vagina.
What annoys me is that they're not spread out. Yeah, see, that would make more logical sense. If they were spread out and you were at one end of the river and you wanted to cross there, you got to go all the way to the centre or the other end of the river. It's supposed to be a winking eye, so it's a bumhole.
It looks like a giant vagina.
No, it's a winking eye, so it's a bumhole.
We're actually having
a giant vagina
crossing built here, actually.
Yeah. See, all the bridges, like I said, all the bridges are right next to each other. It's to cheer everybody up. It's just unbelievable, the number of bridges.
Or just piss people off when they all close together.
If you want a real experience, go on the Newcastle tube. Oh, did you know Newcastle's got an underground? Did you know that?
I didn't know Newcastle.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah,
no.
Newcastle's got an underground. That's an experience, right? They actually think they're a proper underground. Right? Bear in mind, I've lived in London and I've been on the underground. The Newcastle Underground is an experience, isn't it, Mitch? It's they call it a metro, but it's an experience. It's like if London Underground had a love child, that would be it. Right? That would be it. Right. Oh yeah. It's just. Yeah, didn't you realise that? Oh yeah, and they cross the river as well. There's so many fucking ways to cross the Tyne. It's unbelievable.
Well, surely if it's underground, it'd go underneath the river.
Yeah, well, it crosses the river underneath. Yeah, it still crosses the river. But honestly, I've never known a place anywhere like Newcastle that he's got so many places to cross the river that they don't need. Yeah, see? See, you forgot to mention that bridge, didn't you? And it's all done to cheer the people up. That's what it's like up in Newcastle. You didn't know Newcastle had a metro, Tracy?
No, I didn't know. I knew that Manchester did. At least I think.
Oh, you didn't know either, Micky?
No.
Ah.
I like it. Match says most of our metro system is.
I didn't know that Newcastle had the fucking wheel, let alone fucking metro.
Yeah, I was surprised when I got up there and they had electricity, but that's just that. That's what I mean. That's what I mean about their underground, right? They call it the underground, they call it the metro, right? But they boast on it as their underground, and it's like mostly above ground.
So is London Underground though. That's the weird thing. I can't remember the percentage, but there's more London Underground that's overground than underground. Percentage.
Yeah,
we actually invented streetlights, so yeah, let's just stop the thieving bastards going round the dark.
Yeah, you only invented streetlights so you could build bridges at night. It's the only reason you invented streetlights. Come on, let's be realistic about it.
No, it's so that they could sneak another bridge in when people were asleep. Go to bed.
You know, I once went out with a girl from Newcastle, right? I once went out with a girl from Newcastle, and she took me home to meet her parents. And I was gobsmacked because they were mine. Sorry, Matt.
I had some sort of cousins.
I'm just showing you that people down south can be funny as well. Well, allegedly funny. You might not be laughing. You might be swearing at me.
Yeah, Match is silent now. They're either swearing at the screen or they're laughing their bum off.
Or they're on Facebook sending me yet another death threat. Because I mean it's Wednesday and I've had 2 death threats so far this week.
Oh well.
I've had more job offers for $10 an hour.
We have another watcher. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Come and join us. Come and join us.
Say hi.
We're just disrespecting Newcastle.
That's why they've joined.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of.
I want to know how you two, right, get death threats and job offers, and I get absolutely jack shit.
You've got fans. You've got the fans. Micky's got the fans. Steve gets the death threats, and I get the $10 an hour job offers that are in India.
My job offers are earn $34 an hour packing for Amazon. Please fill out this Google Sheets doc.
Right, Steve,
and then supply me.
That's what I get. Mine's $10 an hour. How comes you're being offered $34 an hour? That's disgusting. Discrimination.
Shit. You just work for shit wages. I've got some standards.
But also the other things that I've had, must be getting popular, see, because the other things that I've had was a couple of people wanting to talk to me on WhatsApp, and a couple of people saying that they can do graphic design for me, to which I've pointed out that I work with a graphic designer and I'm married to a graphic designer, so. Yeah.
Oh, I get people. All right, Mitch. While you were away, Mitch, I was talking about the language they speak in Newcastle because they speak a different language to the rest of the planet. And everybody in Newcastle just goes around saying to everybody else, "Why, man?" You know, you just don't, and that's it. And everybody else thinks, "What the fuck are they talking about?" If you all know what you're talking about, you go, "Why, man?" So, you know, we all know what you're talking about. That's what we're seeing this much.
Have you seen the girls out on a Friday night with skirts up? Oh, well, you can't call it a skirt. It's more like a fucking belt, isn't it? Hey?
I've yet to see a Newcastle girl on a Friday night actually standing.
Well, yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Yeah, right.
It's alright.
Actually, all joking aside, right, they do in Newcastle, right, they literally finish every sentence with man. Every sentence. Why, man? All right, man. You know, it's unbelievable. They really do, and I'm not joking there. They really do. So that's yeah, there you go, see? Either man or like. Well, if you come from Middlesbrough, if you're a Mackham, if you come from Middlesbrough, it's like. If you come from Newcastle and you're a Geordie, it's man. So That's how you can tell them apart. You can tell I've been to Newcastle, can't you? I've been to Middlesbrough as well. God, that's a depressing place. Luckily, when I was there, it was shut, so I didn't stay too long.
Middlesbrough is shut.
Oh, Sunderland is Mackham's. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Middlesbrough was shut. It was a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday afternoon, I think.
Yeah, Steve, that sounds like I went on honeymoon to Cornwall, and it was May, and it was mid-May, and Cornwall was shut.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be like, oh well, it's May, and it's in between 2 bank holidays, so there's going to be places open and that. And pretty much everywhere we wanted fish and chips. I can't remember what day it was, but we wanted fish and chips, and all the fish and chip shops were either closed for the day or closed at 3 o'clock. It's like, I want a fish and chips, even in Padstow, you know, which is famous for like Rick Stein fish and chip shops. Everywhere was closed. It's mad.
You could actually be describing Lowestoft. No, seriously, you could.
Lowestoft, twinned with Cornwall.
Yeah. Shut where you can't get anything to eat. That's Lowestoft.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Hey?
That's just insane.
Except my wife's got to work on a bank holiday Monday because she works in a food establishment.
Right, in Lowestoft, Micky, in Lowestoft, right? As you go down the one-way system going towards Great Yarmouth, you go over the bridge.
Yeah.
At the quay, and then the road bears off to the left. The A12 bears off to the left. Straight on, you've got sort of the high street. Well, on that corner over there used to be a really big department store building. Do you know what I mean? What was that called?
It was called Tuttle's.
Suttles.
Tuttle's. T-U-T.
Tuttle's. That's it. Yeah, Tuttle's. I always remember that. Oh, right. Okay.
It's now called the Joseph Conrad, and there's a Wetherspoons.
Do I remember exactly where it was correctly?
Yeah. Well, yeah. As you go over the bridge. Station's on your left. Tuttle's was on the right.
Yeah, and the A12 bears off to the left, doesn't it?
To the left, yeah, and then round to the right, yeah.
And then round to the right, and then across about 26 different roundabouts.
Exactly, to get through to yeah.
And then comes out by that theme park that is a bit shit.
Yeah, Pleasurewood Hills.
Yeah, that's it, Pleasurewood Hills. Yeah.
Absolute shite.
Yeah. What they should be called is Self Pleasurewood Hills. That's the only pleasure. That's the only pleasure you'll get.
It's not very pleasurable, and there's not any hills. So.
No. What else did I do? I know it's not really Newcastle way, but the other year when I came back from York, I actually came back from York along that way deliberately so that I could see Newcastle because I've never been there before. I know Newcastle isn't on the way back from York, all right, but when I'm up that end of the country, I wanted to come back along that coast. And we also did the Humber Bridge, which was absolutely fascinating because I'm a bit of a bridge geek. And when it was built, the Humber Bridge was actually the world's longest suspension bridge. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Did you know that, Tracy?
I think I'd heard something like that. Yeah.
When it was built,
it was a massive engineering feat.
I think the longest one now is in Japan called the Katashi Narrows, which is a massive structure. But when it was built, the Humber Bridge was the world's longest suspension bridge, and I went across it. And as I drove across it, I was quite impressed. I think it's a mile long, and it was for many years it was the world's longest suspension bridge. But that was up there, and then of course they've got the Angel of the North up there. Have you ever seen that?
Well, that's a bit disappointing, isn't it?
It's a rusty heap of shit, but don't tell them that. It's a rusty heap of shit, but don't tell the people up north.
Yeah.
Because they're proud of it.
Is it the A1 you drive up as you go north? It's on your right hand side, isn't it? As you go up.
Well, you sort of see it in the centre, but when you get up close, you think, well, that's a bit shit, isn't it?
See, even Matt says it's an awful thing. They hate it as well.
Yeah, you don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch it in case you get tetanus. But yeah,
It looks as if somebody grabbed a bit of scrap iron out of the fucking scrapyard and just welded it all together.
Bridges that nobody wants, a statue that nobody wants. I told you, they're all dour up there. They're all miserable up there, right? Okay. And what's more, you go to a pub, right? And they don't even have glasses on the glass. They don't even have handles on the glasses.
You don't have a handle on the pint pot?
They don't have handles on, no.
No, they don't round here either unless you ask for one.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, you need to be asking for the what are they called?
tankards.
They're tankards, aren't they? Even when they're glass, yeah.
Yeah.
Stein, tankard.
Yeah, my dad used to have those.
You need a handle so you can actually get it to your mouth without throwing it all down the front of your shirt, which is what they do in the north. You need a handle to hold it properly.
It's a lot easier when you hit somebody on the head to be holding
Yeah,
on to
yeah, it's a lot better when
don't
you
cut your hand.
Right. And if you don't hold it by the handle, if you actually hold it by the glass and put your finger through the handle and drink, you look really cool.
Well, that's how I've always done it, Steve.
Matt, Steve needs a handle because he's a bit special.
No, you grew bigger hands up there because you spend more time playing with yourselves. That's nature. That's nature. That's nature at work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. I'm energised after that McDonald's. Can you tell?
Yeah.
I'm just insulted. I've just spent the last half an hour insulting where everybody lives, and I'm just asking for it now, aren't I? Because of course I know what everybody.
Today, or are you just on the cola?
That was Coke Zero.
Yeah, but have you got? Are you having a beer today?
No.
Oh.
No, I told you I'm not gonna.
No, I just thought you might do. Sean's unexpected.
Yes, I will. Yes,
Matt says spend more time working.
I have got
building bridges.
Do what, Micky?
Matt says they spend more time actually working. I said, yeah, building more bridges.
Yeah, building more bridges. And in your downtime, you need self-pleasure, which is where you got bigger hands.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you looked out your window right now, Match, there's somebody planning a bridge across the Tyne. There is. I'll tell you what there is. But I've actually got a beer, Micky. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to go and get it.
Oh. You've changed sex.
Oh, I don't mind. I'll take being called Micky. That's fine.
It's like we like the Amish and Barnes.
We're obsessed with tunnels lately.
Oh yeah, they've got tunnels under the Tyne and everything.
You've got to do some tunnelling. Oh God, no! Look, now Steve's got me to be racist against Newcastle.
And the thing is, right, if you ever go to Newcastle, right, and you see all the ways they've got of crossing the Tyne, right, you ask yourself the eternal question: why?
Yeah, but
why do you want to go? Why do you want to go to the other side?
Have you got across the Thames?
13.
Well, there you go. That's fucking 5 more than they've got.
Actually, I think it's more than 13. I don't know. That was a guess. I'll Google it in a minute. But no, I've been to Newcastle. It's just as depressing on the other side. So why do you want to go there? Unless it's to get more depressed.
Oh dear.
Why? That's the thing. But yeah, if you look out your window, Matt, somebody's building your.
A lot of
somebody.
I don't know about the Tyne, but a lot of the Thames bridges, or most of the Thames bridges, are sort of fairly evenly spaced out. I do know that there's 3 bridges that cross from Chelsea over to Battersea, and at one point they would. This is what not that recently, but at one point they were talking about getting rid of one of the most beautiful bridges, Albert Bridge. They wanted to.
Oh, that lit up at night. The Albert Bridge is lovely.
Yeah, they were talking at one point about getting rid of Albert Bridge because it can't take heavy traffic or wide traffic either, and also because you've got one end, you've got Battersea Bridge, and you've also got Chelsea Bridge, and Albert Bridge is not, or was not needed at the time. It is now. We've got loads more traffic. Albert Bridge was not needed at the time, but Albert Bridge is one of the most beautiful bridges on the Thames. Thankfully, it got saved, and what they did was they restricted the traffic because it's one of those ones that it's actually got, if you Google it, this is true, at both ends it says something like it's if you're marching marching army, you have to fall out of step to cross it, because otherwise the whole thing
vibration.
Synchronization, yeah. You set up what's called a sine wave. There was a famous the Tacoma Narrows Bridge in the United States, nicknamed Galloping Gertie, is an example of what happens if sine wave hits a bridge. Google it, Galloping Gertie. That was destroyed by wind setting up a sine wave on the bridge, and yeah, soldiers on all bridges actually break step, as Micky will tell you. They break step. They break step on all bridges, don't they, Micky?
Most. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
Go on, guess how many bridges there are across the Thames.
I think it's about 20.
18.
Keep guessing.
25.
27.
Keep guessing.
Oh, come on.
You're not even close. You're not even close.
I'll get Wikipedia out.
You get Wikipedia out, and I bet it gives you the wrong answer.
Micky.
Micky, I bet it gives you the wrong answer. I'll tell you. Right, the Thames is bridged from its source to its estuary. The Thames is bridged 138 times.
There you go. And you're moaning about 7 in Newcastle.
Yeah, but we're talking about the entire Thames, right? It's over 150 miles long.
I reckon the time, if you went from estuary to source, it probably has a lot more than 7.
Yeah. I think the funniest bit was when the Yanks thought they'd bought Tower Bridge and they'd actually bought London Bridge.
I think that's an urban legend.
You do.
The Thames is bridged 35 times in London.
Yeah.
35. Well, there you go.
35 times. Well, we're a bit bigger than Newcastle, right? You could fit Newcastle, right, into the space between 2 of London's bridges and still have room at each end. And they've got like 7 bridges in 20 feet. You know, we've got 35 bridges. I mean, across London, 64 miles across. So I think on the bridge scale, we're doing better. We've got less bridges per square mile. Right. Anyway, let me just do this. We've probably got more tunnels as well. No, I don't want to do that. I'm in jail if I do that. Right. Okay. As you know, I do this beer du jour. Well, my beer du jour today is another Lithuanian lager. All right. Now, this is an unusual Lithuanian lager. All Lithuanian lagers, by the way, come with these little silver foil tops on there. Can anybody tell me why it has a silver foil top on it? Let's just pull that off. Right. Now, if you look at this lager, it's very special. If you look at the label, it's upside down.
Yeah.
And it's deliberately upside down. Can you tell me why it's deliberately upside down?
No idea.
No idea. Right. Do you know why it has the gold foil on top?
Nope.
He's absolutely right. Match is absolutely spot on.
Oh.
That's it. It's to protect the can from rat's piss.
But that doesn't stop the rat's piss that's inside the can.
I'll tell you what. If you've had a Lithuanian lager, mate, it ain't rat's piss. But Match is absolutely right. They have those silver foils on there to protect the top of the can from rat's piss. Okay. Right. Why is it upside down? I'll tell you why it's upside down. Right. Okay. Because it's in English. All right. Back in the days, LB Volmus Engelmann Brewery did not filter beer. Although it had the most advanced equipment of its time, in the beer the sediment sits waiting to be turned over so that it can disperse and reveal the exquisite taste. So that's why it's upside down, so that you have to look at it to do it, and doing that disperses the sediment throughout the beer.
Shake.
And don't turn the beer upside down when you've opened it.
Unless you're drinking it.
No, even then don't, because I mean this is a pint can. But yeah, it's the whole idea of having the beer can label printed upside down is so you turn it over to read it,
and it gives it a gentle shake,
and it gets the sediment from the top to the bottom, so it tastes much nicer. So
yeah,
I thought that was quite the guff. The important thing about the beer is all the right way up, but the label's not. In 1853, a brewery named LB Volfus was established at Kaunas. At the end of the century, its founders bought a second one, which 1860 belonged to a German manufacturer, F. Engelmann. When the two breweries emerged in 1927, IB Volfus / Engelmann became the largest brewing company in Lithuania. I said it was a Lithuanian beer. It's not. It's a Lithuanian beer. Brewed in Vilnius. And do you know what? It's a damn good beer as well. It's a very nice beer. Perfect to wash my McDonald's down with. Oh. There are also 20 tunnels under the Thames. Did you know that?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know how many there were, but I knew that there were tunnels.
Have you ever, Tracy? Have you ever been under the Greenwich? Have you ever been under the Thames in a foot tunnel?
The one at Greenwich, I have. Yes, to the Isle of Dogs.
Yeah.
I did that one with the school, and it was absolutely fascinating because, you know, like obviously when it was built, there was other tunnels that was coming off of the tunnel.
Yeah.
They were, when I went through, they were all blocked off and bricked off, and I remember like saying to the teacher, or you know, whoever was leading us through, like, why, you know? And they said because people were getting lost and dying in them, because at the time when it was built, we didn't have lighting down there, did we?
No.
It would have all been really dark. So unless you knew your way around, you know, you'd have to know your way around. But people who didn't know their way around were going down the tunnels, getting lost and dying, and so they ended up bricking them over and that. So I thought that was, I love stuff like that. I love the sort of macabre London stuff from the past.
There's an even older one. There's an even older one, Tracy. There's the Woolwich Foot Tunnel. It runs right beside the Woolwich Ferry, and it goes under the Thames.
Yeah,
and that's the oldest one, I believe. That is the oldest Thames crossing still in existence, because all of the bridges have been rebuilt since then. But the Woolwich Foot Tunnel is the oldest.
I must go and do the Greenwich one again, because it was just, you know, it's just so fascinating. And I love that the oldness. I think probably was built around about the same time as London Undergrounds were being done, because it's all very tiled in a similar style and things. So just trying to remember I'm sure I've been under the Thames, but I can't think.
On the underground.
Yeah. No. I was thinking like
no, the Docklands, the underground crosses the Thames. The underground crosses the Thames at Westminster to come over to the other side, and it also the Docklands Light Railway crosses the Thames to come over, but they both use the underground tunnel the underground tunnel up Westminster Way is actually the very first tunnel that Brunel built under the river, and it was abandoned for many years until London Underground come along and fixed it up, and then they got across the Wither with that. The Jubilee line, and it's they cross at Canning Town and North Greenwich. But there's another one, as I say, there's another one that crosses. There's another one that crosses very close to Westminster. For the life of me, I can't remember where it is. I'm just looking it up now. So London Bridge. Oh yeah, London Bridge. The Northern Line crosses under London Bridge. So there you go. Waterloo, yeah, there we go. Bakerloo line tunnels, Waterloo tube station, Embankment tube station. So it crosses there. And the Jubilee line tunnels cross from Waterloo to Westminster. The Victoria line tunnels cross from Vauxhall tube station to Pimlico tube station. And the Battersea tunnel crosses between Battersea and Pimlico. Here you go. There's a tunnel near you. And it used to be, it's now an underground tunnel, but it used to carry steam under the Thames to the Churchill Garden estate.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that, Tracy?
It wasn't a passenger tunnel then?
No.
Okay.
That's it. And they're building yet another tunnel up at, they're building the Silvertown tunnel at the moment, aren't they? Which nobody wants, but they're building anyway. And when that's built, the Silvertown tunnel and the Blackwall tunnel are going to become toll tunnels. You know, talk about pissing people off and then making the traffic a million times worse than it already is. They've not learned anything from the Dartford tunnel. As soon as you make a toll tunnel, it causes traffic mayhem.
Yeah.
And now they're going to put the Silvertown tunnel in, which runs alongside. It actually runs alongside. It actually takes the exact route that the cable car takes. So it goes from North Greenwich over to Victoria Docks. And when that's open, it's going to be a toll tunnel, and they're going to convert the Blackwall tunnel into a toll tunnel. and they're doing it to relieve the traffic pressure at the Blackman Tunnel, and
yeah.
they're just going to make it a million times worse. I reckon they've got people from Newcastle. That's why I reckon. I reckon they got the Newcastle designers in. That's why I reckon that's like that. They got the new. I should have got somebody in from Lowestoft, then it'd never get done.
Well, funny you should say that. We're 2 years into building our third crossing. We're putting another bridge up.
Crossing from where to where?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
From one side of the river to the other side of the
What
river.
You've got a bridge.
You got. Yeah, they've got a
That
river.
bridge was. Do you know? That bridge was built as a temporary bridge back in the 70s. It's still there now.
I know.
But they're building one further upstream, about half a mile upstream, to relieve the traffic from the town centre.
Well, Lowestoft, like both sides of Lowestoft are miserable as each other.
Shops left.
Both sides of Lowestoft are like, they're like Newcastle. Both sides of Lowestoft are as miserable as each other.
No,
again, I reckon you've got
in the
Newcastle
south
bridge builders in.
We're happier in the south.
Yeah, you're not in the south. You've had
I'm the south end of Lowestoft, so I'm in the south.
You're not in the south. You're in Lowestoft. You're in the east.
Yeah, but I'm south of Lowestoft.
Yeah, but you're still in the east. You're not south of England.
Yeah, but he's south of Lowestoft.
South end.
Have you seen this match? This is your fault, match, right? You've exported dodgy bridge builders all over the country now.
That's because they built bridges.
They've thought, well, we've built enough pointless bridges in Newcastle.
And
now we're going to go everywhere else, eh?
Shortly after we started building ours, Yarmouth are now building one as well.
Well, they've got three.
Bridge. They've already got three, yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll another one now.
It is. It's Newcastle, isn't it? They're exporting their dodgy bridge builders all over the country. I think, okay, we built enough silly bridges here. Yeah, there's nothing else to do. Right, they've built enough silly bridges here. Let's go down east and build some bridges they don't need. That's just being greedy, Lowestoft, right? You've already got one bridge. What do you want another one for?
We've actually got two. This will be the third. Hence why it's called the third crossing.
Oh, right, okay. What's the second crossing then?
Alton Broad.
That's not Lowestoft, that's Alton Broad.
I knew we'd get that.
That's not Lowestoft, that's Alton Broad. Like that's as far away from Lowestoft as Tracy is from the moon.
Yeah. Yeah. You're probably, but they still call it the second crossing.
Jesus
because
Christ.
They're the only two that cross Lake Lothing.
Oh.
Well, there you go. But we're having the third one.
You can definitely tell the Newcastle bridge builders, can't you? Alton Broad's 10 miles outside of Yarmouth, Lowestoft.
No, it's 2 miles.
It's a good place to hire a boat from.
It's 2 miles.
Good place to hire a boat from, though, Micky. I must admit.
Yeah.
I've hired many a pleasure cruise, or is it I sat there and pleasured myself? I can never remember which. I've hired many a pleasure boat from Alton Broad. A couple of good, nice
day boats as well. They're getting fucking expensive now.
Everything's getting expensive. A couple of nice pubs there to eat as well, right by the side of the river there. But yeah, I hired a boat once and went all over the Broad. I think we hired it for about 7 days. And we picked it up at Alton Broad and had the holiday on there and went all over the Broads. It was a great time. This is going back about 30 years. Before the Newcastle bridge builders went mad. I try to think when it's going to rain. If it rains, right, like they're predicting heavy rain tomorrow, and we get puddles in the road, I'm strongly suspect I'll be driving along and see a puddle, and next to it, either side, we see Newcastle bridge builders. Oh, look, there's some water. Let's put a bridge across it. Why I man like.
Oh, dear.
God. If they ever discover the Lake District, we are fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When I was about 12, I spent a week in the Norfolk Broads in a narrowboat. Was it fun? I enjoyed it. I loved it. I wasn't 12. I was a bit older than 12, but I loved it on the narrowboats there, Match. I actually thought it was a great holiday. Absolutely great holiday. I got a bit pissed off with the mooring charges, though. That did bug me a bit. That if you found a decent pub with well, you could more to have a pint. You had to pay more in charges. By the time you paid more in
but
charges,
I mean, if you go about, if you don't mind walking quarter mile, a lot of them are free.
Yeah. Oh.
Just walk down the path.
That's not the point, though, is it?
Well, the problem is, it's all right walking down the path, but after you've had a few pints, walking back
coming
the other
back
way
again, exactly.
a bit difficult. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, even though I live here, we actually took it. Well, before I met Donna, actually took a boat out for a week.
That's your idea of a holiday, is it? 2 miles away.
No.
You should be a Newcastle bridge builder.
We picked it up in Beccles, which is about 8 miles from here, and in fact, we spent 2 days in Norwich because the fucking thing broke down. But yeah,
great market in Beccles.
Yeah,
fantastic market. Hey,
not anymore. They're in.
Oh, what's happened?
They shut it. There ain't no. They don't have one anymore.
Oh shit! That used to be great day out at Beccles Market.
Yeah, they don't have it anymore. No.
Oh bloody hell! Oh. I've got to ask, Match. I'm curious, Match. How old are you? Just out of idle curiosity. As you know, I'm 62. Tracy's 50, and Micky's 66.
I'm not. I'm 46. I've just had a hard life.
Yeah. Okay. Micky's actually 26 and lies a lot. I'm just curious how old you are, Match. You know. Well, I think I've done. Have a guess. All right, I'll have a guess. 27. There you go. That's my guess. Go on, Tracy. Have a guess.
59.
Hey.
59.
59. All right, Micky. Go on.
I'd say mid-40s.
Okay, there you go. Those are our guesses. How we doing? How we doing, Match? How we doing on the? Micky, right? I know you keep cheering, right? But the whole idea is for other people to. 25. I win.
What's the 62 in your name then?
All right, I win.
62.
I win. I actually cheated because I was watching a friend of his, Scrub Dog, streaming last night, and Scrub Dog just said how old he was, and I thought, well, if they're friends, they're going to be about the same age. Like Scrub Dog. Is it Scrub Dog I was watching? Yeah. So, yeah, it's my lucky number. My lucky number is 69.
That's if he gets lucky.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, my lucky number is 70, 69. Then I'll give her one.
Yep.
Yeah,
my ex used to say 68. You do me and I'll owe you one.
Yeah, well, that's why he's your ex, isn't it?
That's
why he's your ex, isn't it?
Shrub God, not Shrub Dog.
Oh, right, Shrub. What did I say? Yeah, I noticed, right? I noticed his name, right? Shrub God. And I always noticed where I've got Woody's rewards, right? His rewards are leaves. You know, leaves like on trees.
Yeah. And
he's called Shrub God. I reckon he's a bit of a cannabis freak. That's my personal opinion. With having that, with having that ID and then having leaves as his rewards. See, I did watch his stream last night. I wasn't just flapping my lips. It wasn't last night. It was Monday night. I'm sure it was. Match.
Well, Monday night. It couldn't have been Monday night.
Why not?
Well, not unless it was after we finished Monday night.
No, it was last night because I was playing my game. It might have been Monday. It might have been Tuesday. I forget, but I was playing my game and Mitch came along and we had a quick chat and he said about it. And when I finished playing my game, I shot off and watched his mate there.
Dole checks. Sorry, Match says Wednesday is when the dole checks come in, so it might have been that. Which decade are you living in, Match?
Yeah. I'm just saying, Mark, if you're going to come out and drink with me, don't drive because you'll be wrecked.
They haven't got the internet. Well, they must have the internet because he's here. But
dole checks, I think, was scrapped. Oh my God, I can't even remember when. Everything goes into the bank now.
Your gyro, get your gyro.
I know, I've seen many a gyro in my life, but not for a long.
Used to queue up and get it. You didn't get it in the post. You used to have to go and sign for it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
No, Max, you're absolutely right. In Newcastle, it is. All right.
Oh,
In
good evening,
Newcastle,
Mark.
it is 1920. No, he's absolutely right. So yeah, in Newcastle, it is 1922.
I did forget about the time lag between London and Newcastle. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not London and Newcastle. It's the south and the north. It's about 100 years behind. The only exception to that is the Isle of Wight, which is 150 years behind. The land that time forgot is the Isle of Wight. But yeah, once you get up past once you get past the North of Gap, the Watford Gap is actually like going back in time. It really is. The further you get past Watford, the further back in time you go. So yeah, it is 1922 in Newcastle. Cats. David Attenborough described cats as the gangsters of the animal world. He said they actually live very violent lives and generally die very violent deaths. But they are the gangsters of the animal world. And the RSPB, a couple of years back, released a story saying the domestic cat was the biggest villain responsible, right, for the decline in the bird population in the UK. Which is why when Matt said about what was the biggest hunter in the UK, I immediately thought the domestic cat, because
I thought that statistic had been debunked though, because of the fact that there's predators anyway, and the cats would be doing it anyway. And I can't remember. I can't remember the actual thing. That I know that there was a story about, you know, cat population killing the bird population, but I thought it had been debunked by somebody, like basically saying, I might have even have been RSPB saying, no, this isn't true because XYZ.
it might well have been debunked. I can only tell you about the story.
I can't remember, yeah.
What they said about cats being the most vicious, being the gangsters of the animal world. Everybody sees these loving little creatures, but they're not. And when you think about it, when you look at a cat, you really realise just what vicious little buggers they are.
I know, and I love them.
I've had cats up until just recently, but
Micky's shaking his head.
I've got no cats now, but I know that I've had cats because my favourite leather chair's got scratch marks all up the back. Like
Matt says the first sandpaper was made from cat tongues, and if that's not true, it should be. I think the first Velcro was made from cat tongues, to be honest. If you, I had this fake fur, you know, like just long fur, but it was like polyester or something.
No wonder cats spend so much time. No wonder, if that's what they're tongue, no wonder they spend so much time licking their genitals.
It wasn't a fur coat, but it was like a furry piece of material. And one of my cats used to love sleeping on it, but also when he was washing, he used to lick the polyester fur. And I always knew when he'd been doing it because his tongue would be covered in. It was like neon colours, so his tongue would be covered in neon coloured fur, and I'd be trying to pull this damn stuff off it like Velcro tongue. Didn't want him to ingest it. Talking about like slang and everything, I had to write it down.
Slang, it's gobbledygook.
I know, that's what I mean. Slang, called gobbledygook nowadays. I had to write down what my 15-year-old niece yesterday. She was telling me about this boy. Doesn't matter who, but she's telling me about this boy. And she was telling me, now there's a word, peng. Peng means gorgeous, sexy, hunky, as we know it.
What word?
But no, people don't say peng anymore.
What word?
Peng, P-E-N-G, peng.
Peng.
Right? But we don't say peng anymore. It's leng, which is L-E-N-G. And she came out with this. I had to write it down so I could remember it. She came out with this thing about the boy. She said, he's so leng, but he bear hose.
Okay.
Right?
What?
Yeah, he's so leng, but he bear hose. And I worked it out. I said, so you're saying he's gorgeous, but he bear in nowadays slang means lots of. So he's sexy, but he's got lots of hose. And I thought she was talking about the size of his peen. And she's like,
sorry, you thought she was talking about what?
No, hose, like a hoe, like a slag. Oh, right. So basically, so he's so lame but he bear hose means he's so sexy but he's got lots of flag women, girls chasing him. There you go. So I just was like, okay, that. And my daughters, who, you know, they're not that old, they're only in their early 30s, were like literally going, oh my God, we feel so old. We have no idea what you're talking about.
That's like I said to you, when kids reach the age, when all of my children reached the age of 13, they stopped speaking any known language until they got to 20. I
Yeah.
never understood a word of what they said. I really didn't.
Yeah.
I just used to sit there and say, yeah.
The hilarious thing.
Money. They understood. Give me money. Oh, no.
Yeah. The hilarious thing is, my youngest in 2007, Facebook happened. You know, before that we had MySpace, and then Facebook happened, and we all joined as a family. My mum, my dad, me, my sister, my children, all joined Facebook en masse. And the hilarious thing is that my youngest daughter, because she was quite a bit of a chav at the time, she now cringes at the memories that come up because she never used to use capital letters. The spelling was all over the place. It was text speak. And it's some of it is gobbledygook. Some of it was like this, you know, you're just as butt as neat and all this kind of stuff. And she looks at it and she's just like, that is just so embarrassing, because she's not like it at all now. She's not like it at all now. And I reassure my sister that her 15-year-old daughter will grow out of this phase and be terribly embarrassed.
And you're absolutely right, Match. Cats do whatever they want. Somebody once said to me, dogs come when called, cats have answer phones. And I never understood that until I had a cat. And yeah, you're right. You're right.
Dogs have owners, cats have servants.
Yep. Yeah. And I've been married and divorced twice. And honestly, talking to a cat is more fruitful than talking to a wife. Has Tracy just gone for a piss?
I don't know where she's gone. Probably fill a wine glass up again.
Yeah. Did she say anything, Micky, before she went?
No. She just upped and left.
How rude. We heard you, Tracy. That was a terrible fart.
I know. I'm sorry about that. At least you can't smell it, though.
Yeah, we can. I'm in London, remember? I can smell it. I would just go and shut the window.
That's just the Thames, that is.
He'll reach you. He'll reach you, Micky. Don't worry. That Mitch is out building a bridge to make sure it does.
Oh.
You just see it, a little gas cloud rolling up the A12, can't you?
Oh, the pollution was terrible today. I looked out.
Nicky, it's never going to reach Lowestoft, right? It's going to get as far as Ipswich and think, hang on, this smells worse than I am. I'm going back home.
Oh, dear. You're absolutely right, though. I can't deny it. What you've got to remember is that I am not from Lowestoft.
You've not what?
I'm not from Lowestoft. I wasn't born here.
I know, you marched down there, but I mean, that's not the point.
I just married
down the bridge and got there.
I married a local girl, and it's like the spider's web. Once you're here, you can't get out of it.
Yeah. They wrote a song about that place, didn't they? Hotel Lowestoft, was it? No, something like that. You can check in, but that was your tag, wasn't it? On
it was my tag.
Q&A,
yeah. Anytime you like, but you can never leave. That was my tag.
That's what happened to. That's how you came to Lowestoft, isn't it? That's what happens to people when they actually park, when they stop their car in Lowestoft. They're sort of imprisoned forever, aren't they?
Yeah.
They can never leave. Yeah, I forgot that was your tag. It just come to me.
It's not as bad as Newcastle, though. At least I still got the wheels on my car.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Liverpool. That's Liverpool where they steal wheels.
Well, it's still north of Watford Gap, isn't it? So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah.
My daughters have got a family on their dad's side who live in Lowestoft. Yeah, I don't know exactly where though, because I think I met one of them once, and the rest of them I've only like ever spoken to briefly on Facebook and things like that. They were the good side of the family.
Normally, when we go somewhere, people say, "Where do you live?" I say, "Where's that?" Do you know Great? Oh yeah, I know Great Yarmouth. I said, "Well, we're just a bit further south than that."
Yeah.
You know,
Have you seen what
nobody
Match has
knows.
just said? I'm laughing at that.
If someone from Yorkshire was a fan of Tintin and they had a special tin to keep comics in, but they weren't in there, they'd say Tintin, Tintin.
And then they'd say, "I."
No, sorry, it's Tin. There we go. I missed out a tin.
Don't they say mate at the end or something? Or
Not in Yorkshire.
Huh? Or
Not so much in Yorkshire. It's
You're reeked.
yeah, it could be Uri. Depends on where in Yorkshire. Uri is more sort of Sheffield, Doncaster.
Right.
My lot are from West Yorkshire, so you got to imagine sort of like a cross between a Bradford accent and a. It's not Manchester, but like Rochdale. It's almost the border there. Is it Rochdale? Bolton? Somewhere along the bloody. We're almost on the border anyway. But if you ever said to any of them, "Oh, you sound like you're from Lancashire," or whatever, they'd be like ever so offended. But it's got the role of the Yorkshire with the slight harshness of the sort of Manchester. That's not even Manchester, but you know what I mean. The Lancashire. But I've always found it fascinating. I just remember how my nan used to talk and things. It was just, and generally I always used to be able to. You don't get to meet so many now, but generally I could pick out people who were from like Halifax. Like if I was talking to them, I'd be like, "Are you from near Halifax?" And they'd be, yes. How did you get? Oh, I've got family from near there. So. Well, yeah. On Monday, Steve stepped out of the room, and someone came in and said, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
And me and Micky cheered. It was like, yes, finally. Turned out he was in the wrong room.
Unfortunately, he couldn't hear us cheering because somebody had turned the sound off.
Who would do such a stupid thing?
I know. Who would do that?
Who would do that? Who would do that?
And the stupid thing was, we must have been, 20 minutes?
Yeah, it was.
And then somebody popped up and said, "How long do we leave it till we tell them we can't hear them?"
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there was us. We were chatting away. It wasn't like we were sat here inanimate. We were chatting away, and no bugger even popped up to say, "What's wrong with your sound? We can't hear you."
Can I just point out that once again Micky's spoken and we've lost 2 viewers?
Hey.
Well, we've got to
absolutely diabolical.
Absolutely diabolical. They should leave when I speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of your fans are on.
What are we talking about tonight, Micky?
Loads of bollocks.
Well, we just
load of bollocks,
crap, mate. So what would you like us to talk about? Is more the point.
We have been.
We've been discussing how Match there in Newcastle likes to build bridges or dig tunnels, but
we've actually we spent most of the night discussing French 18th century French philosophy and the theory of relativity. So which one of the two would you like to discuss? I prefer 17th century French philosophy. If I am to be honest, John Paul, what's his name?
Gaultier.
No, he's a fashion designer. Jean Paul Sartre. I think, therefore I am. So it's I know it's a tough choice. Tracy will be making cucumber sandwiches with the crust cut off later.
And I shall be, of course, sharing them around, passing them around.
Well, I'm going to disappear for a couple of minutes again.
Okay, Micky's going off to have a tuppenny rub.
This is where we lose all our viewers because the silent fans.
It's all right, Wayniac. I know shit about both either. I've got to be honest. I was pulling your plonker.
What were we talking about? We've spoken about so much tonight. We've spoken about cats. We've spoken about bridges in Newcastle and bridge builders in Newcastle. And McDonald's. and slimming clubs. That was when Steve was out.
I heard you. I was listening to you.
Yep. And Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Railway, it's a small gauge railway.
How many bridges are across the Thames?
Yeah, tunnels under the Thames.
Yeah.
So,
masturbation in Lowestoft.
Is it masturbation in Lowestoft? Oh, seriously? I thought they burnt those off.
Well, I'm curious. I'm curious, right? No, hang on. I'm curious, right? Because if his wife works at Tesco meat counter, right, this could be a problem. So, where does your wife work? Just out of curiosity. Because if it's like the Tesco meat counter, I'm never shopping at Tesco again.
Be even funnier if it was the Boots perfume counter.
Exactly. So you've got to put it in the context, right? Oh no, she's a dermatologist, right? Okay, all right. I'll be glad about that, you know.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny. What have I done? I just hit the keyboard. There we go.
Yeah.
Cutting a wart off Del Boy's brother.
You've got to put this into context, right? You can't just say my wife cut off a wart off somebody's penis. It always leaves you wondering exactly what does your wife do. You know, I mean, if she was a fireman, that would make sense. But you know, if she was a traffic warden, that wouldn't make sense. So, but yeah.
Traffic warden.
If she worked at the meat counters at the local Tesco, that would be a lot of problems. So yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I just imagine that my wife works for Tesco's, and she'll come home and say, "Oh, I cut a wart off of somebody's dick today." I think, like, what?
Yeah, but Steve, we were talking about alternative protein sources the other day, so.
Yeah. No, Micky will only want to come on your face if you say that.
Oh God.
So this is what a dermatologist does, is it? No, you can't let it go to waste. I agree. You can't let it go to waste. You can't let a good walk go to waste. Which is why I asked about working on Tesco's meat counter.
Oh, pop it into the garlic crusher.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, put it in the garlic. Put it in one of those Milton Mowbray pork pies. Yeah, that one.
Oh God, no! How about you know the little cheese grater that you would use for like hard Parmesan or something. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Truffle.
So, my next question is: did she wash her hands?
What, before it or after it?
After or during? Yeah, or during. And
oh, that's revolting. I saw an actual fly before inside a sausage casing, like intact, trapped. Yeah, I know how that happens especially when it's in a proper butcher shop, because a proper butcher shop, they attract flies because they're cutting. You know, they usually have like the door wide open, and they're cutting the meats, or they're doing the sausage meat or mincing or whatever, and the flies come in, and if the fly sort of gets caught up in the process. She double gloved.
yeah, when she handled his dick, she didn't handle his dick in her bare hands, which is quite good. Quite good. How did the chip get on an escalator?
Yeah, but that's such a like a you know.
What was the chip doing on an escalator? Where was it going?
But when you think,
did it think it was in Newcastle? It was trying to get to the other side.
When you think about life, that is like the that is life gone wrong. You are the chip at the bottom of an escalator with a fly sitting on you. That's when your life has gone wrong. It didn't get on. It was stuck at the bottom. He was old and tatted head to toe too.
Well, in that case, you sure it was a wart?
Yeah, it could have been a piercing that had grown over.
Yeah, it could have been something tribal.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh. How do you get? I can't. Are you back, Micky? I've never had a wart on my dick. Maybe I'm lucky.
Well, you can get two different types of warts on your dick. You can get the skin ones, you know, the ones that you get on your hands.
No,
or,
I've never had warts.
Or you can have genital warts, the ones that are caused by genital, you know, having sex with.
So you can have genital warts on the genitals.
Yeah, but you can also have.
Why are they called genital warts then?
What? No, you can have genital warts, yeah, or you can have, you know, the ones that people get on their hands and feet, like verrucas.
Yeah.
You can get those on your dick, but that won't be on the glands. That'll be on the skin.
I don't think I'd want a verruca on me dick. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you can't.
Hang on. Did you just say you got a verruca on your dick?
No, I said I wouldn't want one. She said you could get.
Oh right, I was about to say, because next your wife will be complaining of athlete's fanny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Genital warts are sexually transmitted.
I don't think I'd ever get a verruca on my dick. She's never given me a toe job.
No, but if you did, you'd be complaining about athlete's fanny.
Or athlete's arsehole even.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to go and have a wee. Please carry on talking about dicks and warts, all right?
This is what I'm trying to explain to Steve.
He's not going for a wee. He's going to check for warts, isn't he?
Steve keeps making a funny every time I try and explain it. Got genital warts are sexually transmitted.
Yes.
And then you've got regular warts, which they won't be on the glands, they won't be on the head, they'll be on the skin. You can get genital warts, STD genital warts on the skin. But what he's talking about, the one that has been cut off, is like, and probably is the same HPV strain that causes warts on your hand and warts on your feet. This person who had it cut off today was a ordinary skin.
Well, that's fine. It'd be like wearing a ribbed condom then, really, wouldn't it?
Oh, thanks for that, Steve.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. More pleasure for her, Wayniac says, yes. Match is giving the Steve face of pain. Did he definitely want it removed? That's hilarious. But yeah, so I can imagine why he wanted it removed, because anybody looking at it, you know, a partner seeing it might think that it is a sexually transmitted disease one. And yes, he could pass it on to her, but she would like get it on places where you don't get genital warts. Like, because
Wayne said I have a skin tag on my neck, different than a wart. I keep it. My wife had them. What we did was, she only had one on her neck, tied cotton round it. A couple of days, it just fell off.
Painful, yeah, but yeah.
Just fell off after a couple of days.
It does. You have to starve the blood supply to it. And me and my family, we get it from my dad. We just played with skin tags. It's like I get rid of them, and more come back. I get them around my neck here and at the back.
Never had any more. But...
Yeah, some people are more susceptible to it than others. So we didn't.
So
hear that
can I just make this observation, right? Perhaps you don't know, Tracy, but in a lot of men's toilets, especially in pubs and service areas, they've got machines selling condoms. Yeah. And you've got normal condoms and you've got ribbed for extra pleasure.
Yeah.
So if you're getting your warts removed, that's a lie, isn't it?
What?
If you're getting warts removed, it's a lie, isn't it?
It's a lie.
Yeah. Ribbed for extra pleasure.
Why is it a lie to get a wart removed?
Because then it's not ribbed, is it? Then the wart give you a bit of your... Micky's there, everybody else is there but you.
Why can't I work this out?
Well, I would have thought a wart would have given it, you know, it touches places that other places don't touch.
Yeah, but it's also infectious and it can also be unsightly. I know.
Not when it's inside you, you can't see it, can you?
No, it wouldn't be inside, it'd be on the outside, it'd be on the shaft.
Micky, explain it to her. When it's inside you, you can't see it.
No, I understood the pleasure bit, but I didn't understand why it's a lie if But
Well,
you were going
ribbed
down,
is not obviously.
yeah, but you were going down the funny. You were going down the funny angle, the hilarious comedy angle, and I was just going down the guys. If you've got a thing on your knob, get rid of it. Angle.
I would have thought knobbed would have been extra ribbed and knobbly would have been extra pleasure.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but it's not going inside any woman once she's seen that there's a growth on it. Put a condom on it first. That's what I mean, anyway. So
Do you feel the same way about ribbed condoms?
I haven't used ribbed condoms for years. They didn't do anything for me when I tried them. So.
Bucket crutch.
What did I put? What was that? What did you just call me?
Oh dear.
They didn't do anything for me. I did have a knobbly vibrator once, and that was enjoyable.
I can't repeat that, Micky. That was a one-off.
No.
I'll watch it on the playback. It sounds like a bucket crutch, but
It may have sounded like bucket crutch, but I was lying.
no, it's just like it doesn't really do anything. I think ribbed condoms were made for guys when they're doing bum stuff.
You know what?
I think ribbed. This lot are laughing their heads off here.
Hang on. Say that again slowly.
I think ribbed condoms were made for guys for when they're doing bum stuff.
Well, surely they'd have the warts, so they wouldn't need a rib.
Yeah, we need the condoms, eh? I mean, you know.
No, because women don't have nerve endings along the shaft of their vagina, but you have nerve endings around the outside of your bum and around and sort of going sort of more inwards. That's what I think.
No,
anyway.
are you trying to tell us you've taken up the arse with ribbed condoms?
No, she's got a rib vibrator for that.
All right.
Used to.
Oh, she used to. Have it.
Yes, they keep exploding on me.
She wore the bloody thing out.
Yeah, honestly, they get to the point where they go, zzz, boop. I've just burned another fucking one out. Thank God for Poundland. That's all I can say. You buy 10 at a time, and then when they blow, you don't have to worry.
This is a conversation I never thought I'd be having, Micky.
You want no?
No.
You need one of them you plug into the mains.
Yeah.
They go backwards. They go backwards and forwards on their own,
I've
don't
been
they?
fusing the fucking fuse box.
Yeah, blowing the whole block. Oh, never mind the block, the street.
Oh dear. Yes. So what? So anyway, Wayne, what did you want to talk? You look what you've done, Wayne. You've just
As you can see,
totally
it's
fucking.
highbrow conversation tonight.
Yeah,
Or
Tracy's struggling a bit now.
I'm what?
Tracy's getting a bit embarrassed.
Struggling? No, I'm not embarrassed. I thought you said straddling, though. I was going to say I'm certainly not straddling right now.
Right. Oh, you're just watching. All right. Okay. You're one of those, are you? You're one of those, are you? Just like to watch, do you?
Hey.
Right. Yeah, match it's got it right. Big vibes, yeah, big vibes, yeah.
Cracker.
Big vibes, yeah.
Oh God! And it's the same colour as my vibrator, so.
Oh, I've got a dog tapping me. What, you want to go out?
It's the same colour as my vibrator too.
I've got to let the dog out.
All right. Is letting the dog out a euphemism? Is it a euphemism? Is it like bashing the bishop, or spanking the monkey, or choking the chicken? Eh?
Letting the dog out is like.
Yeah, letting the dog out is a euphemism. It's like spanking the monkey, bashing the bishop, or choking the chicken, isn't it, Micky?
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Wayne's latest emote looks like either a very shocked face or Princess Leia has had a too erotic for your body. Oh, should we allow that?
I've allowed it.
Thank you. Erotic's not a
Erotic's
not
not
a-
a rude term, no. So,
yeah, exactly. Yes. Oh, that was hilarious.
that was yeah. So this all started from a wart on the end of your dick.
Yeah, so was it successful? Was it a successful minor operation?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right, Wayne. We let it through.
Yeah, we let it through, Wayne. It's not a problem. It's an unflagged word now. I've unflagged it.
I don't think we know the list of.
I don't think we know. These are Twitch's banned words, and until there is no list anywhere, I think it's just a case of finding them out.
Yeah, as they're said, and
cut off and cauterized. Well, the cut off. Jesus Christ.
As the terms, as the words are said and flagged in chat, they'll either be let through or denied. So erotic isn't a terrible word. I can think of a lot.
Just curious, Wayne. Yeah, just curious, Wayne. Does your missus suffer from hay fever? I'm just curious about that.
Oh, it's got ads.
No. I'm just wondering if you'd let somebody near your dick who's got a scalpel in their hand. Who's got a scalpel in their hand if you suffer from hay fever? Oh look, I won't be a minute. I'll just cut this off. Achoo!
The
End up with a Betty Bobbitt or whatever her name was.
Oh, well done, Vicky. Well done, Micky. Thank you for coming up with that. Do you know what? It's taken him the whole day, but he's managed to come up with it.
Vicky, you've had the sex change now. He just called you Vicky.
We've been streaming for 3 hours and 37 minutes. It's coming up to 20 to 12.
Yep.
And I think we'll stop at 12. What do you reckon, guys?
Wait.
Yeah, good night, Wayne.
What's this? We've been streaming for 3 hours and 2. Tracy and I have been streaming for 3 hours. You pissed off and had a McDonald's, for Christ's sake.
No, I pissed off, came back and had a McDonald's.
I don't know if you're going to remember this at all, Steve, but the other day when you were going down your crib sheet list and you said, I've got written here cock, because it was to do with chickens, but we never talked about it. So can you remember what that was all about?
It wasn't to do with chickens. It was to do with the size of men's appendages.
No, it wasn't. It's because, Orpington, which is just round the corner from me, right?
Yeah.
We don't know how it got its name. Which came first, Orpington or the chicken, right? Now the reason you need to know that is because there's a breed of chicken called the Orpington chicken, yeah, which is why I put cock down there to remind me what I was talking about. So that's what it was. I didn't know whether Orpington was named after the chicken or the chicken was named after Orpington.
I reckon Orpington came first, and then the.
And I wanted to explore how a chicken got named after Orpington.
Because that's probably where they did the interbreeding to get the Orpington chicken.
I don't know. I wanted to explore that, which is why I had cock written down there, because it also reminded me of what they call in Spain, because their English isn't that good. That's what they call chicken soup.
I've
cock
seen
soup.
it.
Yeah, so, and you go past all these places, right, that have got advertised cock of the day.
Yeah.
Special cock. Hot cock.
Yeah.
Free cock. And they mean soup. So that's what it reminded me about. So that's what that was. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just wondered what that
I bet you're glad you asked now, aren't you?
What? Oh, me?
What are you doing, Micky? You putting your trousers back on, Micky?
What?
Are you pulling your trousers back up?
Yeah.
He's rearranging the furniture in his
Is your wife listening to these streams, Micky?
No. She thinks we're absolutely, utterly ridiculous.
Oh, right, okay.
She's right.
She is right.
She's right.
I can't deny it, but no. You might see her now and again just sort of whiz past.
Sean listens into the streams and makes the odd comment, like the other night when I said I had spoken. Did you hear her?
Yeah.
No, hang on.
You heard?
Go on, what did she say? Steve.
Who?
What were you going to say?
When I said the other night when I was going on about I have spoken.
Oh yeah.
Did you not hear Sean in the background?
She was laughing her head off.
That was hilarious.
You was laughing her head off.
She suddenly burst in, going, "Are you really saying that?" Mad Mark says because it was posh but grew up in Sidcup. And do you know? Right, so you know Sidcup, and you know where the registry office is. I think it was a registry office, and it's called the Green.
I got married there the second time.
Well, you know that bit's called the Green.
Yep.
And then there's you probably won't know, but I know there's a bench just there. And that's where I properly met Andy.
Okay.
Well, on a
Was
bench.
he a client?
No, I met him at work, but we went on a work do in Sidcup.
Was he a client?
Hey, what?
Was he a client?
And you ended up having a fumble on a bench.
I didn't mean we didn't have sex. We had a.
Oh, it wasn't in your call girl days.
I thought you meant met in the.
Does Andy know about your call girl days?
Sorry, what?
Does Andy know that you used to be a call girl?
Tease, stop it.
Okay.
No, I'm being romantic here. I don't know if he's watching, but we've been to a work do. I'd met him at work and everything. We'd been to a work do, and we ended up in Sidcup with work. And then I needed to get a cab, so we walked down.
We're in Sidcup.
Pardon?
We're in Sidcup.
We're in Sidcup. I think it was the rugby club.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's not far from where you are. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd been for an Italian in Sidcup, and I can't. Something limoncello, I think it was called.
Oh, limoncello, yeah.
Yeah, we'd been there, and then we ended up in the rugby club because somebody had the like a card to get in, and there was a dancing thing there. And then I needed a cab, so when that finished, we walked down the street, and then we turned and sat on the bench opposite the registry office, and we had our first kiss there. We had our first kiss there. We didn't have sex there. But yeah, so you saying Sidcup, Mark? I was trying to give my my romantic memories of that, and Steve yes, hot.
So you had sex on a bench in Sidcup?
No, we didn't have sex. We didn't have sex. We did not have sex that then. I know we did.
I'm just trying to get my head round romantic and Sidcup in the same sentence.
Oh no, I know, but that particular bit is actually really quite nice. It's got like the registry office. Steve will probably tell you if that's what if that's where we were sat near. Is actually it looks like is it Georgian or something like that? It's an old big house, big green space, and a bench there. It's changed so much now because I've looked on Google Maps recently, and relatively close to it, I think they built a Morrison's, and there's like
there's a big Morrison's in Sidcup now.
This is what I mean. It's changed. It was more green back in 1999. You have to remember it was more green then, and since then they've built it up even more. So, okay, you probably wouldn't call it romantic now, but at the time it was really quite nice. And they've replaced our bench as well. So, the metal. Okay.
Well, I got married. I got married to who I got married to.
Yes.
In '98 in Sidcup registry office. I thought I'd share that with you.
See, that's see again, mad. So that was 1998.
Yeah, that's a bit of a crazy coincidence, that, isn't it?
Yeah, and a year later there was me and Andy sitting on that bench. I think his aunt got married there.
I hope you gave it a wipe down afterwards.
We didn't do that. Not there anyway.
I didn't say you did. I just asked you for giving it a wipe down afterwards. I have to wipe benches down. Micky has to. It's because we're both fecally incontinent.
It was raining that night. I remember that. It started raining.
We're both incontinent, so we have to. Whenever we sit anywhere, we have to wipe it down, don't we, Micky?
Yeah.
Goes an old age
well, if we forget to wear our bloody
tenor men.
Yeah, exactly. The other day I was walking down the street and I found a tenner, and I thought, oh shit, whoever's lost that's going to be in trouble. It does match. It looks like one of those Brio wooden train sets. I'm sitting here and I want to assemble it into like a British rail network or a network of the Newcastle tube stations, the Newcastle Metro.
No, he's got the bridges. He's trying to get the bridges in. See the one.
He's got the bridges in it. It's got 2 bridges in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That could almost be the Newcastle Metro.
And Steve, the one at the end is a partially built one. We just got to get the other end on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to know somebody who lived on the outskirts of Lewisham. I think it was in Lee or something like that. So
Watford.
what?
Watford.
Watford. No, it was more like the suburbs of Lewisham, even though it's still London. It wasn't like Lewisham.
Lewisham's all right. There used to be a decent market up Lewisham. We used to get a bus up there. There used to be a decent market up Lewisham. I don't know whether it's been a few years since I've been up there. But my local chippy sells chips and gravy, Match.
Yeah, so does mine.
In fact, we've got two
that's
local
what I was
chippies.
saying on Monday. I sat on the beach on Sunday eating chips and gravy,
And they sell curry
got
sauce
mocked for it.
They sell curry. Yeah. That's because it's Lois stuff, right? You lie, I wouldn't just get. Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I might be thinking of actually. Yeah, sorry, Match. I might be thinking of curry sauce. My local chippy does curry sauce, not gravy. I don't know about. Actually, I'm saying it not gravy. I don't know about gravy. I do know they do curry sauce, but that's interesting. I think it's hit and miss. It depends on the area. It all depends on the area of London that you go to. There'll be places that it's more popular in.
Come down this way, our kids. You can get bloody chips and gravy down here.
Match. We don't. Like up there in north, you call it Huss. Down here, we call it Rock. You ask for the wrong stuff. You ask. Next time you go into the fish and chip shop, ask for man batter. Tell him you want some man batter on your chips. He'll know exactly what you mean.
Problem there is that the next time he's in bed with a woman, he'll be saying, "Do you want some gravy?"
Rock salmon. Up north it's called Huss. 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 Down here it's called rock salmon. So that's what you call it gravy up north. We call it man batter down here. So that's what you got to ask for. Ask the bloke behind the counter for his best man batter on your chips.
Your finest man batter.
Yeah, your finest man batter. Yeah. He'll be only too happy to oblige.
They'll ask you if you want one shot or two.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And so I shall say my goodbyes and thank you for coming in and being part of the experience. Micky?
And what an experience it is. Hey, just reiterate what Tracy said. Don't forget to press that subscribe button. And like I said, I shall be here myself on Monday, Wednesday and Fridays.
And I will be Monday, Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah. And Steve will be on his little lonesome on Thursday doing his man.
And in the mornings.
Oh, and in the mornings he'll be.
In the mornings, I play Empires and Allies. Yeah, because one of the things that Twitch, right, I've got to tell you, right, one of the things that Twitch streamers say is, if you really want to make it, you've got to play a game that's unique. I'm the only person playing Empires and Allies on Twitch, and it's so unique, no other fucker watches it. I'm sorry, Mark. Yeah, I knew I'd read it somewhere. I didn't know which shopping centre it was. So I sort of made it half up from what I thought I'd read. So there you go. I knew I'd read something about it being redeveloped. So anyway, yeah. Right, go on, Micky. Say your goodbyes.
Yep. So it's goodbye from me. Stay safe. Keep your loved ones close. Bye.
And once again, it's goodbye from me, Tracy.
Good night. Goodbye. See you on Saturday from me.
I've got a new goodbye screen. Did you see it, you two?
I did see it earlier today.
Yeah, you both downloaded it, didn't you?
I don't know what it is. If it's the hand waving.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you downloaded it. What did you do with it? You downloaded it.
What did I didn't download it.
Right. Good night.
That screen. Ah.